Yo. Can y'all hear me? For some reason, I can't hear nothing. Am I not hooked up? What if I'm not hooked up? I'm tripping. Y'all, I am tripping today. I'm like, why I can't hear myself? I'm tripping. Give me 1 second, y'all. There we go. I know y'all like this fool is crazy. Yep. Now I'm loud as hell. Turn this down just a bit. Just a bit. All right. Miss Roberta, how you doing? How you doing? Turn this down just a smidgen. How you doing? How everybody doing, man? What's good? Y'all come on in. Let's get to it. Blur AF in the building. You know who it is. You know who it be. Yeah, man. We're gonna talk this summertime blockbuster. July coming up. Tomorrow is July. The blockbuster, I would say the battle starts this weekend. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it starts this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. My Blurred AF family. You know what I mean? Starts this weekend with Jurassic Park. Yes. Xavier Phoenix, what's up, Brody? What up? What's good? Yeah, man. Blues House. This ain't Blues House today. We blurred AFing. You know what I mean? As you see, it's just me. As of right now, I want to give a shout out to Mika G. She has prior engagement she has to do. Dre might be popping in and popping out, but you got me for the full entire time, man, and we're gonna have a good time tonight, man. We're really gonna get into it, break some things down tonight, man. So yeah, got your early screening, huh? For Big Blue. That's right. Big man in blue, Big Blue, the Boy Scout. Yes, indeed. She said classic Dre. Yeah. And he had to work. He's working though. He trying to, he making money so he can go and purchase a ticket to see Big Blue. Buck money in the building. But yeah, without further ado, man, let's start this show. Where my intro at? Let's go.
What does this button do?
Yeah, we finna get to it, man. I like this conversation. We've been having a lot of divisive conversations as of late with Ironheart, and I'm probably still gonna do something on Ironheart. You know what I mean? Chill in the building. Chill, you want to hop in on this? Should I send Chill the link? Let Chill hop in, get in on some of this good Blurred AF shenanigans. Should I? Chill, you want to hop in? Let me know if you want to hop in, man. I'll send you the link if you want to hop in. But yeah, we've been having a lot of device. I don't want to say divisive, but it's just been a lot of like negative talk that we've been having lately. You know what I mean? When it comes to Ironheart, not with me. You know, my critique of Ironheart, I believe, is fair. It has nothing to do with all the other shenanigans that's going on. My critique is of the character, not of the actor, not of the dumb stuff that is surrounding it. You know what I'm saying? But the actor, the writing, the pacing, you know what I'm saying? Those are my issues. The continuation from Black Panther into Ironheart. So I don't have those same trepidations that everybody else, or I don't want to say everybody else, that certain community has online, and we know who that community is, and we're not gonna shed no light. They don't get no play in my ride. You know what I mean? But today I just want to have some fun today, man. We're gonna talk, like I said, summer blockbusters. I just want to have some fun with it, talk summer blockbusters in July, and talk about the fight, because I think it is a fight. It's the fight. What up, Tina? What up? What is up? Lawrence in the building. Appreciate everybody showing up, man. Appreciate everybody showing up. Give me 1 second to do open up a tab real quick that I'm trying to do. Where is it at? Boycott Activision says, I hate Superman, but the movie looks good. Yeah. And I'm seeing, I don't, you know what? When it comes to Superman, I'm seeing a lot of people. You're seeing different factions. Like it's people who grew up who only know Superman from like the cartoons, you know what I'm saying, the Adventures of Superman or the Justice League cartoons. Then it's the people who only know Superman from the Man of Steel, you know what I mean, and Justice League and things of that nature. And then there is, I don't know, I guess me, I know Superman from comic books. I know him from the movies. You know, like I know Superman from a long list of media mediums and media representation. So I know it's always something different with Superman. Every writer writes Superman different. Every writer has to get over the hump of Superman being this super can do anything type character. Chill, say Lincoln, I got you. Coming right up, Brody. Coming right on up, got you. But everybody, you know what I'm saying? You have to get over that. Writers, directors, people have to get over that hump of how do you write Superman? Now, me, I think it's kind of simple. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know, certain writers just can't get it the way they should get it. At least I don't think they can. Where is this tab? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm lost. I sent Chill the link. Chill, I sent you the link. Check your inbox. Over there at X, my G. Where is it? Content. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The Monger.
The Monger of Chill.
What up, man? You look like you done been running amok, running. Where you was at? I know you was like on vacation. Or where you was at, bro?
No more details need to be told. All you need to ask me about is what we're doing tomorrow. We're gonna make Recast T'Challa trend.
We are. I still want to know where you was at, though.
I know.
So you come on my show. This is my show. I'm gonna do it how I do it. Dre done stepped in, but Dre over here silent with it. What up, y'all? Say what's up to Dre. What up, Dre?
What's up? Hey, everybody. I'm at work, so it's gonna be loud. So I'm gonna kind of click in and click out, but I still am a part of this conversation.
That's right.
Nah, you're not part of this conversation. You don't want T'Challa recast. I heard you like T'Child.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no, we got a whole show in the morning that's gonna be fantabulous. What we talked about while Eldest Hodge should be Black Panther and why you should support Recast T'Challa July 1st. Hashtag Recast T'Challa. Make sure that you get your hashtag ready on Twitter, on Threads, but no matter what you do, because we need this character back and we need Eldest Hodge to be pushed for that character.
That's the one. I don't want anyone to taste the Idris. It's about Aldous Hodge.
Wow. That's crazy. Taste the Idris. That's, you know what? Maybe I need to put Chill in time out. Taste the Idris? That sounds nasty, man. What is, yeah, that's a major pause. What? Taste the Idris. But you still not finna escape my question, Chill. You've been MIA. I just want to know how you doing, man. Your mental, you good?
I can answer that. I can tell you that. So yeah. I'm unmotivated. The things I want to talk about is superheroes, all this fun stuff, and it's just lame. It's the same old thing. I don't want to be repetitive. I don't want to also be angry. So I refresh. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What's everything always covering? And it's never something that makes me go, I got energy. You know what I need? I need a YouTube beef.
What you need a YouTube? You know what? I mean, it's a guy on here. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a hothead over here, right on my top right.
What do you want to cover?
What do I want to cover? Well, anything in the like Marvel superhero space, DC and Superman right now. There's probably something there that I could cover. But when that movie comes out, I know I'm doing panels. I know I'm gonna actually have fun talking about Superman.
I don't see you do comic books no more, Chill.
I'm done with comic books.
Why are you done with It's a lot of good content out there with comic books, man. What is going on?
Are you kidding me?
But somebody dumped ash in your
this, the preview pages, right? When you go through the whole thing. Just a few minutes ago, I was going through it, and I was Xing the books that I wanted to read, and the only two places I could put an X was Ultimate Black Panther, which is up on this side,
Gotcha.
and Storm.
Okay, so why you not cover? Why?
I wasn't interested in anything else.
I'm just saying, why you not? I don't even see you cover them though.
No, I don't. I don't want to divide. You know, there's certain people who are going to look at a thumbnail of a comic book and they're not going to come check it out. I want to just
come on, chill,
broader audience.
You a strong individual, bro. Strong-willed individual.
You really want me to come on here and tell you about how Storm has a title card in each comic book issue and it takes a whole page, and we could just put that in the
But if that's your thing, and I don't mean to get away. We're gonna get into the blockbusters in a minute. I just gotta get chill some shit. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Talk about the good, talk about the bad. That's what you are, chill. That's what you do. Hey, this panel is, if you believe this panel was wasted, this whole page you talk about it.
I don't want to tell people that because they'll see the video and not even click on it. What I want to do is react to what the audience tells me, and that would be. I'm preparing you. I'm showing you.
All right. You right.
I'll be this thing over here. Say yes, Aldous was on my thumbnail. You can see the engagement here. Look at all these viewerships that showed up. Over 1,000 people wanted to come see what I had to say when it came to Black Panther and recast. That's what they care about. And like, why fight that? If I post something that's not related to Black Panther, it's just gonna affect. Look, I made $7 that day. I like it's fun. I want to make $7 more.
Right, but then when Black Panther is done and over, or you get him back, then what you gonna do? Till you done? You retiring?
Nah.
You see what I'm saying? So you gotta.
I'll be motivated when Black Panther is recast. I'll be fast.
If he's okay, they recast him, right? They do another film or whatever. Then what though? What if they only do one film? What if Marvel goes bankrupt? What does that say? Are you still like you done now?
I guess
out of the game.
I guess so. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. You letting Marvel dictate your success, man.
I'm dependent on Marvel and DC, and the other franchise films too. Like
I like that, Chill. You better than that, Chill. You better than that, man.
Star Wars. When I'm in, look, it's not my fault. They all decided to go kaplooey like at the same time.
Actually, DC went kaplooey first, and then
and they've stayed there until next week.
Oh man, what's up, everybody in the chat? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let's get into this talk, man. These summer blockbuster talks. Chill. But let me start it. You know, what do you got? The big three that's happening in July. Let's start it off. What are you most anticipating? What do you think? Do you think any will flop? Do you think they all will be successful? What you got for me?
I see all of them making more than F1. I see all three of them not flopping. I got Fantastic Four at 500 million, maybe 550. Okay. I got Superman probably at 900, and then Jurassic World hits that billion because that international audience loves to see the massive dinosaurs.
They do. So you got Jurassic hitting $1 billion?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I don't think any of them. To tell you the truth, if one would hit $1 billion, it would. I don't even want to say that because I'd be fucking. I'm sorry.
Jurassic World most definitely hitting $1 billion. Just because there's kids out there that love. Trust me, my kids love Jurassic World. Trust me, there's kids out there that love it. They market it to kids. They're gonna make $1 billion.
I know. Look, if it does, I'm not saying that it can't. I think it has. I think it could gain the legs to hit it. I'm just looking at how Jurassic Park. It's been diminishing return. Like last one hit $1 billion, but it's one of the lower of that three.
Last one didn't have Scarlett and Mahershala.
It didn't, but I've been hearing the worst of the worst when it comes to this movie. But the worst of the worst I heard for the other movies too. I'm not going against y'all. I'm just adding some commentary to what y'all are saying. So Jurassic hitting $1 billion. Superman, you said Superman at what?
I got 900.
900.
Conservative 900, yeah.
That's a conservative? 900 is a conservative?
The way this is being marketed, yeah, it's a conservative 900.
And then you got Fantastic Four at what?
Fantastic Four is 550.
50. So you still think Marvel got the stench on them?
Yeah, and it's gonna come out like on the 28th or the 25th. By then, if someone goes to the movie theater and haven't been in a while,
they done spent their money. You saying that they done spent their money?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dre.
Unless there's something fantastic, no pun intended, with Fantastic Four that once you see the movie, you're going to talk about it, it's going to grow legs. I kind of agree. I see it being around 550 to maybe at the max 8.
That's a big jump.
Well, that's what I'm saying, at the max. But that's what I was talking about. If it grows legs and you start seeing people talk about it, kind of like what they did with Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania and start talking about Kane. If they start talking about Fantastic Four and there's this that you got to look forward to, then it's going to grow more legs and people are going to go see it. If it doesn't have that, it's going to be a problem. And yes, taste the biscuit with the honey sauce.
With the honey sauce, the hot honey sauce. No,
I do.
And
Aisha, I do have to say this, Miss Aisha. Thank you for coming and kicking it with us. But it's not classic Dre. I'm in here getting my pay. The Dre Day, easy homie, make easy payday. Thank you.
That's right. Now, I told you was at work. I told you had to get that money, man. I said, nah, he at work. He got to get that money.
Why did Torian say that's? Don't forget about Smurfs. Yeah, we can forget about Smurfs.
What he said
Are they
comes
that
out
big of a
between
franchise?
Superman and F4. These kids' movies are always. Now Torian ain't wrong. Smurfs could end up being a runaway hit and could take some money away from these movies. It totally could. Now, okay. Am I looking forward to Smurfs taking money away? No, but is the possibility there with is it a high possibility that it could? It possibly could.
I think that the Smurfs are a legendary franchise, but the people who liked it are old now and they grew out of it. It actually has to reprove itself to this kid's generation.
I mean, that ain't a bad take. I can agree with that. I just don't. I mean, I ain't seen no marketing for the Smurf. That's why one of the things is I ain't seen no marketing for the Smurf, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But a kid's film coming out like the Smurfs with nostalgia involved, it's a lot of old kids out here. And when I say old kids, meaning 40, 50-year-old kids that would, you know what I'm saying, run to go see the Smurfs and take their kids with them. And if those kids fall in love with Smurfs and want to go see it 2-3 times, then you might have a phenomenon on your hand. That's, you know what I'm saying? So Torian ain't wrong, but he ain't right neither.
He said that Rihanna's been marketing the Smurfs. And what 10-year-old?
Is she in the movie? What is she, Smurfette?
Yeah, she's going to voice one of them.
Well, it can only be one Smurfette. I mean, there was only one female Smurf. So, I guess, you know.
But fine, that's going to be in the conversation. It's a big movie year, you know.
I used to say the last one made a little bit over 500 million. So, there you go. It's got a decent track record. I mean, I'm with you though, Chill. I don't necessarily believe it's going to come and make
even
moves.
Blue can't support the Smurfs.
I mean, I wasn't a big Smurfs fan growing up anyway. I just thought it was Smurfs, Gargamel, and the damn cat. I wasn't a big Smurfs fan growing up. This wasn't. You know what I'm saying? They was cool. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The marketing was there, Blue, Smurfs, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't a big Smurfs fan. No. Where am I beginning at? So I asked you who do you think? Let's break it all down.
You asked me my box office. I want to know your box office.
My box office, I would have Jurassic Park scratching at $1 billion. I don't know if it would be one for me. I do think it's going to be Jurassic Park, Superman, then Fantastic Four. I'm still standing by that, even though I'm hearing some things and the tracking ain't necessarily there. But I still think Jurassic Park is the one that's going to have the legs. I think Superman is going to be big, you know, first week, second week, things like that, just like Fantastic Four first, second week. But I think Jurassic Park they got them long dinosaur legs, is going to keep moving. So I would say 985 to $1 billion. And then I would give Superman about 850 to 9. And then I'm with you, Fantastic Four might see 600. I just don't see it as it don't look as good as it just don't, it ain't even drawing me in. And then I thought about, I said, where the black folks at in Fantastic Four? Like I'm gonna tell you, that's a vast majority of people that you probably gonna lose out on, because there is no black representation of Fantastic Four that I recall.
Willie Bumpkins, is that his name? He could be in there.
I looked at the casting list. I didn't see. I think it was a black female. I don't know what her role or how long she's on screen. I'm pretty sure not significant enough to be
not one of the four, not the villain. What are we talking about? Crumbs?
Nobody. Like, it's literally 1960s media for real. You know what I mean?
But in their head, they're doing an of color. That's Pedro. So you feel represented.
Pedro, I'm not a big Pedro fan. I mean, Pedro, I'm not that Pedro's a bad actor or anything like that, but Pedro ain't getting me into the theaters. Pedro, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. Pedro is solid, but like if I'm like, oh shit, Pedro on that, I can wait on Pedro. Like nothing is making me run to the theaters. Like, man, I got to see what Pedro finna put down. Not that he ain't a good actor, he just good Pedro in it, but he everywhere too. Might be some Pedro fatigue going on.
No, you don't want him for James Bond?
What? Who? Come on, chill. Who said something about Pedro for James Bond?
Well, he's for everything else. Why not?
True. I mean, he's been showing up for everything else. I don't necessarily rock with Pedro and everything. I think he need to have a rest. Let me ask you this. Are we looking? I know Superman is a reset. Are we considering Fantastic Four to be a reset for Marvel? As far as trying to get back on track, like this, is this so you don't see Fantastic Four as a makeover? If Fantastic Four, because I know right now, a lot of the pundits, a lot of us YouTubers and TikTokers or whatever you call it, we're looking forward to. Well, some are looking forward to Secret Wars and Doom War and all of that. If Fantastic Four doesn't do what it needs to do, what does Marvel do?
I think that they're locked in with Secret Wars, and they've had their big epiphany after they already decided to do Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and all these movies. The epiphany moment already happened, but unfortunately, it takes like 3 years to develop a film. So we just kind of have to, all right, let's get the Wonder Man out, let's get the Fantastic Four out, and then we'll get to our big, our change of direction.
Okay. So you don't think this? Because even with that being said, I still see a company will still say, I don't give it. We've lost too much into this. Because I think myself, and I've been saying this probably about a year and a half now, maybe 2 years. I think Marvel's looking at themselves like they're just too big to fail. You know what I'm saying? And I think with everything that they produce that doesn't, and I know they try to hit us with, oh, Captain America was profitable. Oh, Thunderbolts will probably break it. I know they try to hit us with that, but at the end of the day, we know that the money, you know what I'm saying, the numbers is kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? And them making $1 million over is not what they want. They want double digits, you know what I'm saying, triple digits. That's what
they want what they used to do 5 years ago.
There you go. So them making $2 million over and claim, oh, we were profitable, we made $2 million. Like, y'all wipe y'all behinds with $2 million. So I know y'all not like $2 million is a good thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm looking at, like, if Fantastic Four only comes out and breaks even or only makes 2 to 3 million, maybe it's panic. But that's the bad thing about Disney. Or I guess that's the good thing about Disney. They got so many other things to rely on. You know what I'm saying? That Marvel doing bad ain't necessarily hurting them. That's the bad thing when it comes to business with Disney. You get what I'm saying?
They could afford Snow White to flop. They could afford.
I think they can probably afford all their movies to flop. Whether it's a Disney film, a Pixar film, Marvel, Star Wars. I think they could 20th century. If they had a down year, they would still be good because they have theme parks that's just generating money on money on money. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing and then we know that every division, film division or entertainment division is not going to flop. So if Marvel is having a down 5 years, I don't think it's panic mode.
So Elio can do terribly right now, but Elio and his alien friend will be a feature at the theme park, and they gotta always add something new to the theme park. So because of that, you got some Elio love in the Disney, like at the entrance, right? At the entrance, they'll show you a kid who looks like Elio and all that. I don't watch the movie. I don't know much about it. But, you know, Lilo Fish has a new revival, so I'm sure he'll be more prominent at the theme parks if you try to go this year.
Right. But that's the thing that gets... That's why I hate all of these corporations eating up smaller businesses, because... not only does it snuff out creative competition, but then you get things like that to where, since you're snuffing out the creative competition, when something fails, it's not held up to the light, the litmus test. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is supposed to be compared to, they can say, we ain't worried about that. We just make another one. You know what I'm saying? Because we're getting money hand over fist over here. But us as the end user, we might be suffering like, man, this another trash film, another one. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like about that. Okay. But yeah, that's what I don't like about that.
I was told Snow White didn't flop. Share my screen for a second.
Who said Snow White didn't flop?
That's
Maurice Charles.
$205 million. That doesn't even cover the budget and the marketing. That's terrible.
Yeah, Snow White. Snow White didn't flop. It has what? What did he? Is there anything else? He didn't say anything else. Yeah, Snow White flopped big time. I mean, come on now. Why would somebody say that? Why would you say that?
Like, what more were you gonna say, Maurice Charles? It has what? It has toy sales that make up for this loss. Really? Oh,
it made well on streaming. I'm speaking for me. I don't count anything anybody says about streaming.
Yeah.
Nothing. Even with Ironheart. I like Ironheart, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, with it number one on Disney means nothing. It really don't. Oh, it's the number one streamer on it. That don't mean jack.
It was the newest movie on Disney Plus that month. What was it supposed to be?
There's nothing else on this, so of course it's gonna be the number. And I don't know what those numbers mean. If somebody say, "Oh man, it was viewed 2 billion minutes," what does that mean as far as making money? You know what I mean? Like that ain't telling me how much money it made on streaming.
It actually makes me think the ones who didn't see it in the movie theaters, who said we'll wait, went and so when I say that it flopped, I'm only speaking to its theatrical success, right? Which is the standard that has been it's as old as it's time told. What is the word? It's tried and time through. It's time honored. There it is. I think time honored. It's a tested tradition. It's how you measure. How does it do in the movie? Right. Did it make back its budget?
Torin, you want in too? Tried and true. Torin, everybody want in tonight, man. I got you, Torin.
It's tried and true, so don't hit me with, well, you know, it did well on streaming. So did Madam Web. Madam Web did great on Netflix, they say. That's what Rothman was trying to say when he was, or Avi Arad, whichever guy it was. He was
like I said, streaming. I don't care about streaming, man, because I'm from the
reality.
Well, now I was gonna say I'm from the era of go out and you don't even have to purchase a physical, but just renting, right? Renting actually was profitable.
Yeah.
Because it's actually it's hands being exchanging money. Streaming is not that. You know what I'm saying? Streaming is a subscription service that I pay for the month. You know what I mean? So they can fudge the numbers however they want to fudge it. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So, Torin, where you want me to send it at? I think I got you on Instagram. Let me see.
I bet you though that the streaming services, all of them, have their little calculation of every hour watched warrants every $1 million we put into this show. And it retains the subscription. You know, all the watch time that we have from Snow White means that a happy customer was made. and that means that they didn't leave Disney Plus. So we have to thank Snow White for that. They probably have a way to make those numbers make sense.
You think so?
Hello,
I don't
American
know,
Music
man.
Girl.
I don't reason I don't reason why I don't know that is because the artists, Scarlett Johansson, like all it, like where are they getting their money from? Like ScarJo had to get her money up front. You gonna pay me up front because I don't know what this, you know what I'm saying? Like the contract doesn't say, hey, for if you get so many minutes streamed, you get this much amount of money. You know what I mean? You don't get that. That ain't in the contract. They just take your product and put it up on a streaming service, and that's it. Ads, like Disney Plus don't have ads. As far as I know, they don't. They're not an ad. Are there ads on Disney Plus?
I never had the ad version, and I
I
left them by the time they implemented it.
But I don't think it is. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it is. I don't think it is an ad service.
Yeah. Well, if they do, it's probably the premium and then the ad version.
Let me see. Let me look it up real quick.
Someone said Drake be suing everyone. What are we talking about?
They ain't not talking about Drake.
Roberta said to put her in.
Roberta went into.
Everybody's coming. I'm gonna do one of those panels tomorrow, like just tomorrow night. Anyone who wants to join, recast T'Challa. Let's just talk about it for 3 hours.
So it says, yeah, Disney Plus now offers an ad-supported subscription tier, meaning that some users encounter ads while streaming content. Okay.
And that's why I guess they became profitable, not because enough of their good content got more subscribers.
Right. It's just they running ads.
Mm-hmm.
I just ain't never seen it. I don't know. I didn't even know there was an ad tier. So, Torn, I think I sent it to you, Torn.
So you have Disney Plus?
Yeah, I got Disney Plus. It comes with my yeah.
Answers my question. I was going to ask you, what would it take to lose your subscription? What did it take to get the subscription? But if it comes with your your package, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it comes with my stuff, man. It says you can't.
I don't see it.
You don't see it. I sent it on Instagram. Is this you? Hopefully this you.
I'll send it on Instagram to you too. Dimitri.
Yeah, this you, dog. I don't know why. Check your Oh, it says because we're not friends, man. We need to be.
When's the request?
Yeah, send it to him for me, chill.
It's sent.
There he go. Y'all welcome Tori into the bill.
In invisible ink. Because I did not see it. What's going on, y'all?
We're doing good.
Yeah, what's good? What's good?
Owens.
Yeah, I saw you in there, Chip. Listen, I had to go in on her, and I love whenever I get an opportunity to do so, and those of her ilk. But now, what I was saying, it was in the chat. I don't know if you saw it. I said, in my opinion, Warner Brothers is the studio to beat this year. I mean, think about it. Since April, they've come out with a string of hits. They had Minecraft that's almost at $1 billion. If it's not there already,
it's true.
Then they came out with Sinners behind that. Then you had Final Destination Bloodlines that did well, and then you had F1.
Oh, F1, yeah, it's an Apple movie that Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is just
distributing.
They get the money.
Yeah.
You don't think that Warner Brothers isn't going to get this theatrical revenue? Look, $57 million so far domestically. Overall, 146.
What's the percentage of that they're getting? What you think? I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just saying what you think.
I don't know, but I also know that they didn't put up the money for the budget. So any profit would be, we'll put them in the green or the black, however that works.
Oh, I agree. I thoroughly enjoyed F1. I knew I was into that movie when I saw the teaser last year. I said, "Oh, I'm locked in with this one."
How long you think it stays in theaters? Since it is an Apple Plus.
It's probably going to have the regular run because it's going to run into these big movies like Jurassic World and Superman and stuff like that. See, what happened with Sinners is because the word of mouth. The word of mouth behind that movie is what kept it in there way longer than it was supposed to. Because Sinners was supposed to come out way before they finally took it out, but they said, "Nah, we're going to keep this in because this movie is still that." Let me put it this way: Sinners stayed in the top 10 in the box office its entire theatrical run.
Entire run. But that's a
That is very
that's
very
a
rare.
blockbuster. I was trying to
Yeah.
tell Chill. I don't think you saw me in the comments. Y'all was talking about blockbusters. Sinners is a blockbuster by the literal definition of what a blockbuster is. Sinners is what's called a blockbuster.
And it's an original IP. It's not a sequel. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot.
See, to me, how I identify a blockbuster is afterwards. You can't call yourself a blockbuster if you ain't even went to the theaters yet. Jaws was the first blockbuster film where they used the word or the criteria blockbuster because it lasted so long. It was a hit afterwards. Now we just throwing blockbuster on anything, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. It's fine. I just wanted to give y'all a little education on that, especially Chill.
Never heard the term blockbuster's original use came from Jaws. Never heard that one.
Yep, Jaws. Yep.
I don't watch you, so I had never seen you say that before.
That's messed up, Chill. You be on my live all the time, but okay.
No, that's my point. That I've heard you say that before.
All right. Yeah. So can these, like I said, can these? And I ask you too, Torrin, can these save these franchises? Is DC gonna? Can Superman do what it's supposed to do to bring DC back?
I'll put it this way. DC needs James Gunn needs a hit with Superman.
Yes,
straight out the gate, because they have been lacking. DC as a whole, whether it's DCEU or DCU, has been lacking for a long time. Like someone said in the chat, the last DCEU movie that made $1 billion was Aquaman. You can throw Joker in there, but that's DC Elseworld. So if you want to do DC as a collective, Joker would have been the last $1 billion movie they made. And Fantastic Four needs to hit because this is their fourth go around with this franchise, and
that's my thing too. This Fantastic Four has
on top of that, this Fantastic Four is the last MCU movie to come out until Doomsday, and that got pushed back to December of next year. So you got to think, when Fantastic Four comes out, anything that comes out Marvel related is going to be a Disney Plus show. It's no movies.
Wonder Man, that's it. It's just Wonder Man. Well, and
and also Marvel Zombies.
I forgot about that. They need to throw all that away.
Yeah. So after Wonder Man, there's not going to be anything Marvel or MCU related until Doomsday, and that's in December. So you're talking about a whole year from then.
Spider-Man.
We mean Spider? No, that got pushed back.
Brand New Day is not coming in 2026.
No, they pushed it back because it has to come out after Doomsday. So when Doomsday got pushed back, they pushed that back as well. So that's coming out in 2027.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know it's, the Sony situation, what's going on with Sony. I don't even know how all that, what I'm saying, plays into what's going on with Spider-Man and Marvel and stuff. So we could see some other happen with Spider-Man.
And also too, because Doomsday got moved, because Doomsday was supposed to come out on May 1st of next year, but because it got moved, James Gunn said, "Oh, well, I found a spot for me to put Supergirl, because that was going to come out in June of next year." And said, "Oh, we'll move that to May 1st," and he did exactly that.
Dope. That's a good thing to do.
So this now actually gives DC, James Gunn's version of DC, room to do what they need to do. Now that Marvel will be kind of like on the back burner. Yeah,
some runway. And you, okay, Torrin, what you saying that? Do you think that they can gain some ground on Marvel?
Well, I can't see into the future, so
I'm just speculate. Give me a speculation.
Let me correct myself. According to what people say, it says it's still on the slate for 2026 Brand New Day.
I heard it was moved back.
We'll see.
Because it's on the slate, don't mean it won't move back.
We'll say on the slate for now. We'll just put it like that.
Because I heard it was moved back also.
Yeah. So what was your initial question?
Oh, do you think this will allow James Gunn and DCU to gain ground, gain not take over, but gain some ground? You know what I'm saying? I
would hope so. And I have to actually echo something I think that Dre had said a little while ago. I want them to have the competition. I think people have been wanting the Marvel DC competition for years now. If this is the way that it has to go about, then I would say go ahead and do it. But also at the same time, DC, don't try to play catch up. Just release quality stuff, because if you try to play catch up, you're gonna be releasing some mid to trash. So just like I would say just take your time with it. and let the work speak for itself.
No, I agree. But go ahead, Chill.
You can catch up, but I don't think you're catching up anywhere significant. I still think Marvel has a huge lead. Plus, we're going to get 2 Avengers movies. There's no close competition between DC and Marvel until give it another 5 years.
So, and the thing is, what
I disagree
DC,
with that though, Chill. I disagree with the no competition. You said until for another 5 years.
Another 5 years. You got to wait for them to have their Avengers and their Secret War, and then maybe an X-Men movie, and then when they get back to like the Shang-Chi sequel and then some of that stuff, that's when we can talk.
Why I can't kick them while they down?
Because you're doing Supergirl in your next movie, not Batman.
Like I once again, why can't I kick them while they down? You think Supergirl might not be a big deal? What if Supergirl come out and just go ham?
You could.
Supergirl might actually hit.
If Supergirl come out and do what it could do, what do you mean?
Okay, fine, it could. It's just not their top superheroes. It could, yes, fine, it could.
Because if they weaving if they're weaving a good overall story and making you want to have to go see Super, just the same way they did you think if Captain Marvel, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same situation. If Superman leads into Supergirl in a way that's making people say, "Oh shit, I gotta go see that movie,"
yeah,
Supergirl will go.
Yeah, it's possible. It is. I'll give you that.
And that's all it takes. Like fine. I said, keep them while they're down.
What about Clayface? What about Paradise Lost? What about Lanterns? What about Swamp Things? Like some of the things we've heard about coming out of James Gunn, the Batman and Robin thing, or the 2 Robins thing. I think it was that they said
Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, Brave and the Bold is Batman and Robin.
There's some animated Robin.
Talk about dynamic duo. That was you talking about.
Maybe that's what it was.
Which is Robin and Nightwing.
And these are not like things that excite. These are not things that you go, oh, you know what it is? A movie about the Flash, of Aquaman, of Batman.
True, but if my overall the bad thing about we keep acting like Marvel was Marvel out the gate. And that's where I think our revisionist history is. Iron Man, who the hell is Iron Man? Who was Captain America? Who was Thor? At that time, they're not big. Oh, I gotta go see Iron Man. Oh, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Give DC the grace of doing the same thing, of constructing a story that's making you want to come see Supergirl, making you want to come see Clayface, make you want to come see these other things. Because, like I said, who are those 3? They're the big 3 now. But they damn sure won the big 3 back then.
So I'll give them 5 years of grace.
Nah. Because Marvel is on the downswing. That's when you giving them 5 years of grace. I say they can overtake them in the next 2. Because they're on the downswing.
All right. I don't know. I feel like what Marvel has in their slates for the next 2 years are going to bring them back up. And who could
they could be horrible.
Ryan Reynolds is trying to write us X-Force script right now. If they actually come to fruition with that in the next 3-4 years, they'll be fine.
I don't know. I mean, I rock my X-Force. I'm okay. But
when do you want a Superman sequel?
When would I want a Superman sequel? In the next 2 years?
Same. Torian?
Yeah.
Well, I think it all depends what the slate is. Will it fit into the slate?
Not really, because I'm asking what would you want for when do you want the Superman sequel?
Maybe 2 or 3 years max.
Okay, yeah, me too. Yeah, we got to keep things concise.
Yeah. But I think DC is because I think once Superman hits, they got to roll. It's going. Mm-hmm. Like the train has now left the station, and we not stopping. That's what I think is on James Gunn's and Peter Safran's mind. Like once Superman does what it do, we not stopping. We not doing what the old DCEU did and do dumb stuff out the gate. We going with the concise story. You know what I'm saying? Things that other than just it's back, because back then Warner Brothers thought that if I just put the big 3 together, it's gonna sell, right? And not saying that the movie did bad, because it didn't do bad contrary to popular belief, but it didn't make the billions that they was chasing because they was chasing Marvel. I don't think James Gunn is chasing Marvel. I think James Gunn is just trying to make good movies, good film. You see what I'm saying? And if he does that, I think he's good to go.
You want to know how dated everything seems now? Think about this for a second. The first Iron Man movie came out in 2008, but also that same year, The Dark Knight came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's crazy when you put it into perspective like that.
Yeah, it did.
And then, I think when the first Avengers movie came out, The Dark Knight Rises came out that same year as well.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people were saying. Like, Warner Brothers, y'all was doing good with what y'all was. You didn't have to go and chase Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you had to do was keep doing. All those Batman movies made money. Was making more money than the Marvel movies was doing at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you say, okay, we want to make our own little universe. Fine, but you don't have to chase Marvel, which is what they did. They wanted the Man of Steel out the gate should make. When did Man of Steel come out? Who was?
I think 2013.
And what did Marvel have on? Marvel had already done the Avengers and everything, right?
Iron Man 3 was 2013.
Iron Man 3.
That grossed over $1 billion, and Man of Steel was only 670.
So you got Man of Steel trying to chase Iron Man 3. It's its third movie. You trying to chase it, and it's already backed up by Avengers and all this, the other stories is going on involving in Marvel. Why would you do that? Then you say, we didn't do it good enough. BVS.
Dark Knight made all that money. It's kind of deceptive. Heath Ledger had died recently, and so that was helping with the box office. He also got the Oscar.
I mean, that's fine. When Tupac died, his album went 10 times platinum. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's
fine. It's fine. But doesn't that add to that point you're making?
Honestly, I think if Heath Ledger still was alive, people still would have went to.
Yeah, I think it still would have did what it did because they were already giving him Oscar. It was already Oscar buzz around his performance.
They kept saying, wait till y'all see his performance as the Joker, man. It rivals Jack Nicholson. And when people heard that, they was like, okay, we got to go see this because if they say it's rivaling Jack Nicholson and Jack Nicholson did what he did with the original Batman in '89, then it must be worth seeing. And people went to go see. You know what? The hype was there because they got to the point where people were saying, you know what? I hate to say it, but he might have did better. So even though it probably hurt people to say that because they held Jack Nicholson's performance as a Joker so high.
I do think he did better, and he did better than Joaquin Phoenix's. But we have to agree, a death does turn up Paul Walker when he died in the Fast and Furious 7, and of course we have that great song that Charlie.
No, I'm not. No, I agree with you, Chill. I'm not taking that away. I agree with you. Like I said.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A death will make you, put extra emphasis on. Now I'm going to see it to, not only watch a good film, but this is the last time I'm gonna see said actor, or this is to be the last time I hear music from such and
same
such.
Same thing with recently with Final Destination Bloodlines. This was Tony Todd's last movie. You know where it didn't?
Well, he wasn't in the film, but where it didn't help, I don't, because I think if they would have put, going back to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, I think if they would have put a Black Panther in that film, I think it hits $1 billion. I think so.
What do you mean if they put a Black Panther in the film? Shuri was in it.
No, you heard exactly what I said. If they put a Black Panther in the film, if they put T'Challa in the film,
okay.
How about that? Is that better for you, Chill?
Yeah, you said a Black Panther, not the Black Panther.
Look, I ain't splitting hairs on that whole. This ain't I don't believe in the mantle thing. Mantles is stupid. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in blue dyes and then Chill could just be blue, and no, it don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say Black Panther, I'm only talking about one person.
Okay, then I got it.
You got it. So if they would have put a Black Panther in that movie, it does $1 billion. Might not do the one what it did 1.3. Would have did 1.1.
Well, I got a question. When it was all said and done with the box office, and you knew that T'Challa wasn't in there, were you still shocked that it still even made that much?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that it still grossed $800 million, and I was like, "That's terrible," because I want to be able to go and say it stunk, it made half as much, but $800 million usually for a movie is good. I understand marketing. I get how it made so much less. I get, but still,
it was the death. The death is what pushed it to the 800. I wasn't shocked.
So basically, what you're saying is death sells. Whether it's seeing the person in there for the last time, or if they're not in there at all, but they're pushing the memory of their
because it was the emotion.
There.
Yeah, it was the emotion
They pulled on them
behind.
They pulled on them heartstrings, and them heartstrings bought money.
Pull up Bushy Ball's comments. He called me a hater, I guess, because of what I said about Wakanda.
I think it was talking about me because I was like the whole mantle thing. He called me a hater, man. I don't hate Shuri. Shuri is dope. I think she's a dope character. Shuri is a dope character. I'm gonna say that again. Shuri is a dope character.
Especially
I love
Shuri. Especially in the first movie, because she has so many quotable lines. Shuri had everyone calling people colonizing.
Yeah.
She had so many people calling people colonizing.
I love Shuri in the comic books. Like the way Shuri was like getting busy in the comic books. Man, as Shuri, like how she was as Shuri. You know, like, but we ain't got to go there. We ain't got to rehash that. But no, he said not you. Who you talking about? Who a hater? If not, is he saying not? Come on, put a name on it.
Yeah. So with Shuri though, yeah, the second movie was just, we're not going to mention that T'Challa's not in the movie. We might say something in the beginning like he's in space. He wanted to find out how Thanos could break Captain America's vibranium shield, and that's why he's going to space to find that material. All right, but and that's the only time we mention him. And if we don't advertise the death of Chadwick Boseman, then they wouldn't have made $800 million. They would have made way less.
Hold on, say that again, Chill. You think if they said T'Challa went off to space?
Yeah, if that's the only time they mention it in the beginning of the movie.
Oh no, you're right.
Marketing, they
because
don't.
Now you downplayed it. Like you can't downplay T'Challa.
No. Look, hear me out. If you didn't, a lot of people wanted to see this movie because it was the goodbye. It was the send off. It was Chadwick Boseman died, and we're all gonna experience that together. Type. That's what they were going for. But if they would have just made a Shuri movie that didn't reference the death, and it was just she's taken on an adventure and she becomes a panther, if that's the plot of the movie and they didn't market lift me up, if they just had a regular movie, it wouldn't have grossed 800.
They could, I think yes and no, because they could have marketed like T'Challa died, got injured, wounded in the marketing, or to where it's like, man, did he die? Like you can do a twist, you know what I'm saying? Like then you watch the movie, oh, he ain't dead, but I can get you in the movie theaters with a fake death. That's nothing to market. You know what I'm saying? That
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you do the marketing trick where you reference the death, you make someone come in to see the movie theaters to see the movie, then that's how you can get that money. If you don't market a death, you'd make less.
He said haters chill. Oh, he calling you hater. What he hated?
Because I was talking about Wakanda Forever. I was talking about how it made $800 million, but if you take the marketing budget out of Strange World and Lightyear and you put that all in Wakanda Forever, then you're bound to make a little bit back on your investment there. And unfortunately, it made lots of money, and no one's going to ask about what the marketing budget was for that movie, how expensive it was also to create. We remember that Letitia Wright was off the set for a little while. We know the movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It was a long one, and so that's more budget that it required. So you can't just say, oh, this thing made money with 800 million. You have to ask questions and think about it. And some movies can't be profitable off of 800 million. Do I hate anything? Yeah, I hate that the top black character in the history of fiction is not continuing on screen for the same way that we got Batman and Superman popular. He's not getting that. Yeah, that's what I hate. And we're gonna make Recast T'Challa trend tomorrow. You should join.
Oh man, tell him, chill. Tell him. So well, I guess we already talked about that. What is the thing that would bring you to the theater for Fantastic Four? And we can do all the movies. I'll start with you, Torrin. What are you going to see it, and why are you going to see it? Let me ask you that.
For which movie?
Just pick one.
Well, first off, I'm seeing Superman on Tuesday because I got the little Amazon thing that they did, that special thing they did, and it was listen. I probably went on there maybe 2 hours after they did that, and when I went on there for the theater that's close to me that's doing it, it was literally one seat in the row that I'm in. Everything else was full, and the only thing that was really available was the first 2 rows in the front. and you know people try to avoid those like the plague. But I was lucky to get that seat that good seat that I was able to get at the time. So I know it's going to be that day is going to be super packed on this upcoming Tuesday. But I think I'm looking forward to both, Superman and Fantastic. I can actually do without Jurassic World. Like, I wasn't like completely like, oh my god, I gotta see it. But I'm actually looking forward to both Superman and Fantastic Four for different reasons. Because one, I want to see if James Gunn and Marvel can actually hush the naysayers up. I always look for that.
Yeah.
Can they pull it off? Because it's been a lot of criticism, especially when it comes to Superman, especially for the people who loved Zack Snyder. Those those individuals, that fandom right there has quickly for me climbed the ranks of toxicity. Like they are right up there with Star Wars, Marvel. Who else has a toxic?
Not to cut you off, Torrin. I don't know why are they so holding on to like Zack's? You know what I'm saying? Like directors come and go. Why are they holding on to that?
They're mad because they feel like Zack Snyder didn't get a chance to finish his vision.
But he did. He released it
with Superman. I mean, after Justice League, I think it was after that his version of Justice League, and they was mad because like they just it's like that's it. We're done after that.
But I mean, I just think they're delusional.
Of course, there's a lot of politics involved with that too. But
it is. But I still think I like
they're definitely delusional.
I like Zack Snyder. I like the Superman. To me, he put out my favorite Batman, which is I like Ben Affleck as Batman.
I do too.
His portrayal. But like you know what I'm saying? He was just a director. It wasn't his. They act like those are his.
But in the stuff that I've heard, in the stuff that I've heard them say, it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like, what are they going to say? Because the thing is, they can't say that this movie is not going to make money. We know Superman is going to make money just off of the name alone,
right?
And one thing that I'm liking is that this is not an origin story. We do not, and I can say the same thing.
He said we jumping right into the action. From what I understand,
I said the same thing with Fantastic Four. Those are two things right now both movies have in common. Is that it is not an origin story. It's jumping right into a position where they already know who they are. The people of Metropolis know who Superman is. The people in New York know who the Fantastic Four is. Like we're not doing the origin story. So I'm glad they're just jumping straight into it. So they already get previewing points for me just on that alone. Now, of course, when I go in there and watch the movies themselves, then that's going to be a different story to see where or how the story goes, how the pacing is, the visual effects, like how everything plays out. So it's going to be very, very interesting because it has been a very long time since you've had two superhero movies come out in the same month, and they're on opposite sides. They're in two different studios, and one's DC's, one's Marvel, and they coming out 2 weeks apart. It's been a very long time since that has happened. So, but it could be a thing where both movies could help each other out financially. I mean, look at what they did with the whole Barbenheimer thing. Even though both of them were under Warner Brothers, but they were two very different films.
No, they wasn't both under Warner Brothers.
Yeah, they were.
No,
Nolan left Warner Brothers when they did the thing with Tenet. He said, "I'll never do a movie with you guys."
He don't work with Warner Brothers.
Oppenheimer under? Who did Oppenheimer?
I want to say it was Universal.
Hold on.
Yeah,
that's why they put it on the same day. Like as an FU, Barbie's gonna get your money.
I seen somebody trying to do the Barbenheimer thing with Jurassic Park and Fantastic Four. They called it Jurassic 4.
They already gave, like, I already heard them give a name for it, and I actually agree with. They already said that, but with Superman and Fantastic Four, they're calling it Super Fantastic.
Super Fantastic, yeah.
It sounds like a Nicki Minaj song I don't want to listen to.
Super Fantastic. I mean, I agree.
But like I said, I think they can help each. I think they can help each other out as far as a balancing act. Now, the thing that is different is that Barbie and Oppenheimer came out the same weekend, whereas Superman and Fantastic Four come out 2 weeks apart.
2 weeks apart, right? But to me, they can still help each other out. I think, you know what I'm saying. I'm with the all tides. Tides lift all ships. I'm with that. You know what I'm saying. But I'm also with competition. and I
Okay, it
want
was
James
Universal.
Gunn to be Eric Bischoff and talk
Oh God.
talk all the noise in the world.
Why when you said that, I could just imagine seeing Eric Bischoff right now, like back in the Attitude Era with that. I always thought that was a toupee he was wearing, but that was his real hair, but it just looked like a toupee.
Yeah. But yeah, and not to like be nasty against Marvel, but just I think steel sharpens steel. Marvel has for too long just been up there solo dolo by itself, and that's why it hasn't really. That's why I don't.
They got comfortable.
They got comfortable, and then when I hear stuff like, "Oh, well, they took power away from Feige," I be like, "Y'all just be giving this man excuses." Like he was still the head. Like I still got to put I don't care what. The boss, my boss might say, "Hey, man, this is what we're doing," but at the end of the day, I got to put a product out, or my boss gonna be like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" You know what I'm saying?
It was speculation too. Like when they found out, when we found out probably like a year or so ago what the release dates were for Superman and Fantastic Four, we was all saying, one of them ain't staying, one of them is moving. But you know what?
Right.
I give kudos to both Disney and to Warner Brothers for not budging and saying we're not moving. So I'm glad they did that, because that adds more to the competition, which is what we want. And like I said, Marvel got comfortable for so long because they didn't have any. So now that, if DC's throwing their hat into the ring like that, now that makes Marvel step it back up and get back to the glory days that we all love as far as quality goes. So when we ask for them to bring in new characters, I don't want them to, because if they're going to do the same thing that they did in Phase 4 with characters that we know, I don't want them doing the same thing in the later phases with new characters.
You talking about Marvel, right? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
But see, I want Marvel to start over. I think
Secret Wars might be that reset.
Could be the reset, because if I'm Feige, I'm saying Avengers. I'm setting that we putting them out the pasture. That was a good run. Now I got to work on Fantastic Four, or their, you can't do Fantastic Four because their universe ain't as big as say an Avengers universe, but X-Men. I'll say X-Men. Now I got to work on X-Men. I see your face, Chill. Fantastic Four. Think of Fantastic Four and who they matriculate with.
I just made the face because you used the word universe. You should have said their brand or their franchise.
Nah, because the Avengers, it was their universe. It was their universe.
And see, the thing is that helped, like even with Marvel last year, we had Deadpool and Wolverine, is because that was a collab film people have been wanting to see for so long, especially since they completely messed up Deadpool in that X-Men Origins movie years ago with Wolverine, and they finally got it right with this one. And then it was Ryan Reynolds having complete creative control with it. He bringing Hugh Jackman to be back in the suit, and he's finally wearing his Wolverine suit, which people have been wanting to see him in since the first X-Men movie. All of them, to be honest with you. So it was a lot of fan service that went on with that, but it worked, which is why they made over $1 billion.
Yeah,
and then
I got a super chat. Let me cut y'all off. I got a super chat from who was that? Buck. I got a super chat from Buck. Let me give you something real quick, Buck. Let me do this game.
Gang banging, gang banging, gang banging.
I love that. Buck says the Snyder cult is ridiculous. They literally got what they asked for and are still complaining.
I completely agree.
That's true.
Wholeheartedly. And Dr. James Willis, you are ridiculous for that comment saying Megan 2.0 is the summer blockbuster. It is not. Do not watch that movie. I went and saw that movie so others didn't have to. That movie was a complete waste of time.
Mika said it was okay. She didn't enjoy it. She didn't dislike it, but she said it was okay.
If Mika says it, listen, if Mika says it's okay for her, with her being the horror guru, that's not good. I'm just saying. Not. Megan 2.0, like, I see what they were trying to do, but it wasn't executed properly. Unlike the first movie is still for me very good, but that second one, it was. I mean, I'm sitting there.
When I saw the trailer, I knew it was gonna be off. I said, "Wait, hold on, what?"
I said, "Absolutely not, no."
Back to the super chat. The Snyder cult
Dr. James, it did. It did.
Snyder cult's ridiculous because they got their movie, and the new director or new producer president of DC was announced. Once you have that, you kind of have to accept that this is over. They were not playing
Yeah.
by the same rules as before. Warner Brothers has moved on and they've created a brand new studios who are going to launch a new universe. Like, that's in the past. Maybe if you're lucky, Zack Snyder can direct a movie.
Come in and do a movie or something. But like I said, they delusional. If you're a fan of Superman, you want to see Superman win no matter who the director is. If you're a fan of Batman, you want to see Batman win no matter, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm like looking at them weird about. Like, if you're so you're telling me you're a fan of Zack Snyder, then if you're a fan of Zack Snyder, go patronize Zack Snyder's work.
Exactly.
Go patronize his work. That's all you gotta do.
And I'm Blue. I'm glad you said that, because another criticism that a lot of people have had for people who are fans of DC is that they don't support the products that they put out. Like, they say that they want this stuff, but they don't show up when it comes to the box office. I mean, and I hate to use this as an example. Look at what Black Adam did.
Mm-hmm.
They put a huge marketing push behind The Rock with that, and it did not deliver on the back end. So if you are a strong, for me, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I just want to see a good movie. So I leave myself out of the equation because it's not going to affect me one way or the other. But if you are a staunch DC supporter and you keep saying, I'm not going to support Superman because it's not Zack Snyder, then, and the movie doesn't make the money, then you're going to be sitting there back there saying, ha, 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 I should have had Zack there. Listen, Zack Snyder is not coming back. He is on to his next slow motion moving, because he loves to use the slow motion in everything that he does. Like, that's his, but that's his staple. That's his signature. Right. Every director has one. But this is the test right here to see if DC continues going forward. So you can't sit back and say, I'm not going to support this because it's not Zack Snyder doing it. And then if the movie was the flop, hypothetically speaking, which I don't think it will, and they just stopped after that, it'll be on you. Then they're going to sit there and try to feel like they're vindicated in what they did. I'm like, you're not vindicated in anything. You sabotaged it.
Yeah. No, their reasoning or thought process don't make no sense, man.
I gotta put the recast T'Challa perspective the same way. Okay, let's pretend they do Toussaint, they cast Damson Idris, and then in Black Panther 3, he's there and he's playing Toussaint, and I'm gonna say they did it. That's it. Like, that's my James Gunn and Peter Safran have now been hired to take care of DC.
That ain't the same, chill.
When that happens, I have to ask myself, yes, of course it's important to recast T'Challa. We got it. He's valuable. But when they've committed to that path, and they've hired a guy to a 10-year picture deal, and that's Damson Idris as Toussaint is just Black Panther. All right, then I'm not gonna go all crazy. That's why we need you guys. It's over now. It's like, when I say it's over, obviously the need is not over. You have to. They're doing something wrong, but I'm just not gonna be advocating and talking. I'm done with Marvel. Like that.
I would say that's different. I hear you, and you're not wrong. I would say that's different because there is the end of something, like, that's over with. Like, that's totally over with. And then they replaced something with a brand new, different character. And it's like me giving you a hamburger and saying it's spaghetti. You see what I'm saying? That's what Marvel is doing. Marvel is saying, it's a burger. The ground beef that came from, this is T'Challa ground beef. You know what I'm saying? But it's spaghetti. And it's like, nah, man, I asked for a burger. You know what I'm saying? Not spaghetti.
But they've committed to this burger spaghetti. They've committed to that. So
but you can still.
I'm like, well, what can I?
You can throw your hands up and walk away. What I'm saying is,
I walk away.
If you want to still protest, or if you want to still, be adamant about bringing the original character back, I wouldn't look at you like you stupid.
I don't think. I think by then, if they made the decision and Damson is cast,
true.
Long term, like, what
true.
am I?
It might be asinine to do so. You know what I'm saying? It might be asinine to do so. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be like, damn, chill out, man. It's over with. It's over with, okay? If you want to still say, hey, it's still recast T'Challa for me, you don't have to go in on it like every day, recast. But if you were still like, man, it's still recast T'Challa for me, I still would like to see the original T'Challa come back. If you say that, I'm not looking at you crazy. Snyder fans are saying, I would like Zack Snyder's universe or that time period to be today,
and it doesn't fit.
It
doesn't fit with where they're going. It doesn't even fit in Elseworld.
You have to know when enough's enough, when it's over. We have passed the time.
The party is over.
Now, Zack Snyder.
I do agree with you on that. You do have to know when enough is enough.
I think Zack Snyder did a Teen Titans episode one time. That was fun. You can still use him on different
When he
projects.
did a Teen Titans episode.
Yeah, they made it darker and gritty.
I
Teen
didn't see
Titans
that.
Go.
The
What was
cartoon.
those movies that he did on Netflix? Oh my! What was those movies he did? on
He
Netflix?
started off good on Netflix. He did the 2 zombie movies and the zombie cartoon, and then he wanted to do, what is this called?
Rebel
Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Horrible. Then he came out with 6 hours of film. Like, what are you doing? Why is this thing 6 hours? What are you doing?
And they was waiting. Listen, they was probably waiting for Zach to mess up. And see, that's exactly why we got rid of him. Because look at this Rebel Moon. It was. And the thing is, I will say this: the trailer for Rebel Moon was better than the movie itself.
Yes, it was.
The trailer had me hyped for this. I was like, okay, let me see what Zack Snyder about to do.
That's
with
exactly
this.
how I describe it. A beautiful
basically
disaster.
Rebel Moon was supposed to be his version of Star Wars. Because remember, he had pitched a Star Wars script. Apparently, Disney knew what was up too, because they was like, "We ain't doing this. You ain't about to do all that slow motion stuff in our Star Wars movie." So he said, "Okay, let me go do Rebel Moon," and you can see the Star Wars element there. You can see it clearly there. But then when he came out with it, I'm gonna be honest with you, I dozed off a couple times because I was so bored with that movie. I wasn't even tired. I was up, and I had to pause it and go to take a nap and then come back. I probably did that like 2 or 3 times because Zack Snyder also makes very long movies.
Yeah.
He makes very lengthy movies.
Yeah. No, it's just like I said, if y'all want, if you like Zack Snyder, go support Zack Snyder. That's the easiest and best thing to do. But Superman is moved on with his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, Batman has moved on with his life. All those characters that Zack Snyder was once, you know what I'm saying, the god or the stepdaddy of, the mama done found a new man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That is it. Speaking of these universes, do you think, because how I'm looking at going into the future, do audiences still crave shared universes, or do they want the one? Because we just got the script for the Batman 2, right? Supposedly. Do you think audiences would rather deal with these one-shot, offshoot type movies, these Elseworld type things, or do you think the shared universe is still a priority for audiences, or do you think that'll end up being a thing of the past?
I'll lean towards it's a priority to audiences to have a shared universe, just not by much. Like, if everyone wants a good movie, so if they hear something is good, they'll come to it, even if it's got nothing. Like F1, that's not a shared universe. I mean, we can say it's attached to Top Gun Maverick because it's the same director.
No, I heard Days of Thunder. I heard Tom Cruise might slide in and do a Days of Thunder connecting movie. That's on the rumor mill. That's. But go ahead, Skip. My bad.
No, my short answer is that some audience members want the attached universe. It's only a benefit, but it's, you can get away with doing all separate movies if they're all good.
Right. What you got, Torrin?
I would say yes and no. Yes, on the fact that because it gives continuity to it, especially if it goes smooth, like if it flows like a good book or something like that. On the flip side, I say no, because some people probably genuinely don't care. For instance, when Black Panther came out, I talked to so many people who said they never saw one MCU movie. Some people didn't even know what MCU stood for, but they knew what Black Panther was, and they went out and saw it. There was a lot of people who went and saw Black Panther and never saw any of the movies that came before it. Not even Civil War, where he got introduced in. But they saw the representation there. They saw that cast there. I mean, come on! Like, you had Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, a whole bunch of people in there. So on that, people's gonna go see that on that strength alone. And look at what it did. And they probably never saw one MCU movie again until Wakanda Forever.
I can help with that because I had a friend sitting down, didn't watch anything, and it was like February of 2018, and I went to Civil War, and I was like, boom, I'm just gonna skip and fast forward all the parts that don't have Black Panther in it, and we basically went through the whole movie in like 20 minutes because I had to explain who Black Panther was, and that was right before the movie came out because people don't know. People want to see a good Black Panther, a good movie, and they hear Black Panther's got some buzz. Well, okay, let me go check it out. Yeah, associated universes and all that stuff, not that essential. Unfortunately, I wish it was. It is to me, but it's not to everyone.
No, I agree. I think it's a coin toss. I think if you give them a good shared universe that makes sense, with the straight through line, like I don't like everything connects the way it's supposed to connect. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm good. But if you I've got to hop all over the place and this don't make sense. I just watched this movie and then we come over here and I watch this and I'm like, that didn't happen over here. And why is, you know what I'm saying? Then I think it throws things off. And then
it has to be it has to be a vested interest there too. I mean, think about it. I'll use a perfect example. Harry Potter is a perfect example of an adaptation of a book that has lasted years. I mean, I remember when the first Harry Potter came out. It came out like in 2001. And the last one came out in 2012. And that when people say they grew up on things, that's a perfect example for me because when the first Harry Potter came out, I was in middle school. The last one came out the year after I graduated college. Like, really put that into perspective.
It just made me feel old.
What you doing? I remember every time they would market the latest movie, they'd say, "Yeah, we returned to filming after this," because they had it constantly, year after year, sometimes 2-year breaks.
Oh yeah, they was working because they had to have them because the actors were growing up, so they had to get them while they were still young to fit the character.
Right. But I think it's easier to do it from a book. This is why, to me, source material is so important. Harry Potter, I can go book, you know what I'm saying, through with the books. So it's easy to make a through line and have continuity, you know, even with some missteps. At the end of the day, the big things that matter, I took them from the book and put them on film. You see what I'm saying? When you are rewriting the source material and only using the title and just throwing everything off, so then the next film has nothing to do. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier to do it with a novel series or a book series. That's the bad thing. That's what started happening with Marvel. It's like one film didn't really explain the next or things of that nature, and it just got bad, convoluted all over the place, especially with this multiverse. And I said from the jump, I said they go this multiverse route, they're gonna get lazy.
It looked good on paper.
Bad things are gonna happen. I said that all those years ago.
And I also said you're doing the multiverse thing, and you have a whole character that can literally jump through dimensions, named America Chavez.
Yep.
Why isn't she the focal point of the multiverse? She should be the main part of it.
Should have been.
Like, literally, that's her power. She can go through different dimensions, and she's the only one who can do it.
Stuffed her away in the closet.
And it's not like she hasn't
even been around.
Nah. How easy is it to get this 18-year-old actress to sign for, like, you know, $500,000 here, $500,000 there? You get to be in this movie, that TV show. It's not that difficult. You just have to plan.
They could have recasted her too. They ain't even got to bring the same girl back.
Aisha, we have not seen America Chavez since Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Ain't even been brought up.
Exactly. Well, I just wanted to come in here and say, you know, because I'm a Smurf, you know, I represent my blue people, Blue Lives Matter. You know what I mean? And just want to come in here and to, you know, Smurf. If y'all can Smurf it with me, I got some Smurfing stuff to do. Don't do that, Chillmonger. I see you.
Because honestly, when you think about it, you know how at the end of the Marvels, well, for those who saw the Marvels, when you saw Kamala Khan go to get and start recruiting for the champions, she went and got Kate Bishop. Why in the world didn't they have America Chavez go and recruit the people? Because she could go through different.
Torian, stop. You using your brain. They don't use brain. They don't.
She literally could do it because she just goes from place to place and very fast
to do it to
go and find the people.
But you know what's also crazy that you said that is because she's in the Sanctum Sanctorum under Wong right now, who is the Sorcerer Supreme, right? Now you know that you got these incursions going on. Wong done showed up in everything. So you're telling me you can't go get American Chavez and Doctor Strange have a conversation?
Because now not only is she able to use her powers to go to different universes, but now she's learning the magic. So she can travel multiple ways now.
Torrent, I'm finna
you have added into her power. Now you have added into her power. Like, she should be the one going to recruit.
Torrent, I'm gonna just let you know I don't like people who make sense. That's why I invited Chill up here because Chill don't make sense a lot of the time. So
Shots fired, chill.
I know.
Well, you
What is
said
it? A
you
fatal four way?
no, you asked for YouTube beef earlier.
he did ask for YouTube.
No, Blue, that went over his head. What is it? A fatal
Because I'm
four-way?
sitting here saying to myself,
Nah,
I
he
seen
know.
it.
I was when I found out America Chavez's character was going to be in the Multiverse of Madness. I said finally Marvel is making some sense because they've been doing some. I don't know what they were doing. I said she makes sense to put in this movie because that is her power. But then it's like they kind of just put her to the side after the movie.
But
It's called the
coming,
multiverse. I said it's called the multiverse. You need her.
right? But it's also coming from somebody like a Sam Raimi who understands comic books. Look at what he did with Sprite, even though that third one wasn't all that. But Sam Raimi know what he's doing. He'll go do the research and actually put some things together that make sense. I think all the directors that they've been getting don't know jack about the thing that they're directing. You see what I'm
Then on
saying?
top of that, and then on top of that, they they had America, as far as I know, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, was the only one that went toe to toe with Wanda when she was throwing them hands at her, hitting them with them stars.
Yeah.
And then
and wasn't
somebody
scared, and,
think
and wasn't scared, and almost knocked her into another dimension too.
and somebody think that Wanda can go blow to blow with the Century. Stop it.
I don't know. I think Wanda could go blow to blow this century. I seen one.
Man,
I was
she had
just
destroyed
reading
the
something
century.
today. I was just reading something today. Wanda ain't no joke, man. But that's a different. That's
Did she finish the Darkhold? Did she read every page?
probably. I would say she did.
So I'm just thinking, what's she gonna do when he does the thing where you turn into a shadow? But she probably knows the reverse for that. Yeah, she might actually have him. I think
I heard a
Wanda.
rumor that the Sentry, that program that created the Sentry, and this is just for the MCU, was because coming off of Secret Invasion. Remember they had all the Avengers DNA.
Oh, yeah. Why
So
you
the
remember?
Void.
Man, please don't bring up nothing about Secret Invasion and
Hey,
that
I'm just
dumbass
saying.
part of the
So they
storyline.
saying that the
I hope
Void,
not.
the Void is a remnant of Wanda's powers. Think
I
about it.
hope not. That'd be dumb.
No, it's just
That-
I don't think that's what it is. I'm just saying. Reading when I was reading that little rumor thing, or who I forgot who said it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But
Was it Cosmic Book Wonder?
nah, this
Oh,
was some
whatever.
random. Nah, this was a rando. This was a rando. Yeah, you don't like Wanda. Wanda could go toe to toe with the Century, man.
No, I love Wanda, but no, not against the Century.
And
Not
the crazy
happening,
part
no.
about it, and the crazy part about it is, even though we saw what she did in Multiverse of Madness, we still haven't seen all that she can do. She's just that powerful.
Wanda ain't no joke, man.
She's
I mean,
not.
but the Century
Now-
literally just woke up and was like, "Oh snap, I got powers." He ain't even go full Super Saiyan yet. He ain't even Kaioken.
True. Okay. I still
remember
think
it
Wanda
remember it was the power of the group hug.
power
Was
the
able
group
to
hug.
tame
that-
the
yeah,
power of the group hug.
power
It's the
group
power
hug.
of love from Back to the Future. That's what they hit him with. Like Huey Lewis in the news.
Now Lawrence, now that is a good point. Now Franklin Richards, now that is the real question.
They just gonna nerf him and make him a MacGuffin and then get rid of him.
They said, "Oh nah, he gonna wipe out our whole slate. We can't have him."
He's just gonna be a MacGuffin. They ain't gonna use him
Listen,
right.
Franklin Richards gonna sneeze, and we all gonna be in another world.
Hell, they
like
don't
in
even
another
use him right in the
universe.
comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Or lately, I should say. Lately, they ain't even been using them right in the comic books. But I don't think they're gonna use. I think. So okay, let me ask. So y'all think they're gonna use Franklin to rewrite history? Or
Yeah.
rewrite the universe going forward.
I mean, they
That's
did
the
it
only
in
thing
the
they can really
comics.
use him for.
Mm.
I would say he's definitely going to play a part. I would say maybe in Secret Wars.
Do they age him up?
Probably more to
Let me
utilize
ask
They
you,
him.
do they age him up?
You know what they're gonna do? Keanu Reeves is gonna play an older Franklin Richards and come
Stop
back.
it.
Watch. He's gonna play an older
That
Franklin
actually, I
Richards
mean,
guy.
that would be accurate.
He gonna be Franklin Wick.
basically. But if you know the comic story, when he comes back, and
Come back
to
and
me, he
he's
might go like
got
this.
Galactus as a hero.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll be dope if they do that. Marvel might have me back completely
They
on
ain't
board. I
doing
might
that.
actually give me a
Hey,
front row
chill. Someone
seat.
said Franklin Richards can write Tucson out of the universe. I know you'll like that.
I want to know that he can write T'Challa into the universe.
There you go. Because that's we don't have to get rid of Tucson.
No,
Right.
just don't
Just
adultify
bring
him.
T'Challa back.
Yeah, don't. If Toussaint is your replacement strategy, I oppose that thing for 100%.
Right.
But if you want to have T'Challa raise his son Toussaint, yeah, whatever, sure, yeah.
That's what I said. They already
Mhm.
introduced him. Do Eldest Hodge, have him raise him. It just doesn't make sense if you bring him from another universe and then he has to raise himself. That's weird.
Exactly. Just keep him around, but not everything needs to be fatal.
Especially when I
Nah.
got my J's on.
Are you guys ever gonna resolve this thing? Like, is there a scheduled meet, or has it imploded?
Bro, I put out the olive branch, dog. That don't bother me. It doesn't bother me, man. He can come
Wait,
on
hold on. How did
whenever.
we get into that?
But just because Chill was being nosy.
Right. I caught that. I wasn't gonna say no. I said I caught that.
How we get into that, man?
All right, just solve it. Take care of it, please.
Nah, man. So I talked to Dre last night. I put out there. I don't think it need to be resolved. I think a side was chosen, man.
All right, then never.
I think a side
Never
was chosen
mention it again. Then
because it seemed
No, we inbox each other, and he said the conversation was on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I tried to get him on the show, of course. I just overslept that day. My bad, y'all. Damn, turn this damn air off. What the hell? But I tried to get him on the show. I couldn't. I overslept. It didn't work. Just like I'm at work today. I tried. He said that he was done with the conversation. So I
well, there's
did
not
what
going
I
to be a
did, but it
meeting.
was out of love. It was out of love because, like I said, it was optics. It's out of love. I didn't call them any type of, names or anything and it's still July 1st. We still gonna do recast the child. I'm still gonna support that.
So I'll
You
get
know
you
what I
guys
mean?
both on the same panel. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm not tripping up for that.
No, I ain't
Man, I
standing
said
no
what I
beef.
said.
I don't think that situation needs to be resolved. They can still go forward and do whatever, but whatever that situation is, that don't need to be
I
resolved.
mean, as long as you ain't doing the biscuit activity, you ain't. I mean,
For me, that's a credit score deduction.
that's the only thing that I said. But I had that. Just like I got this real quick.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. To put that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes. My chicken wings.
We now return to the Transformers.
Would you ever have a sit down with Tyrone Magnus?
Oh no.
He blocking people. He went on a
I
block
would ta-
spree
I would talk to
earlier today.
I would talk to Tyrone Magnus too. I would talk to any of them. I'm going from nothing. So it ain't nothing for me to have a conversation with anybody. You know
Chill,
what I mean?
you seen me reach olive branches out. My olive branch got slapped down, but I don't mind reaching the olive branch out.
I think you either stream together or you never bring it up again. That's my suggestion. But that's thanks
But you
for
brought it
listening.
up, Chill.
Yeah, I know.
Taste the biscuits, my guy.
I don't know. Give it to you.
Oh man, y'all done with that?
Yeah,
Move on.
yeah. Back
I
to
said,
like,
I did say I could be the
superhero
moderator. I did say I would moderate. If that does happen, I would moderate. I would.
What's up,
I saw
Mickey?
somebody said that they would want them two to sit down after the show and do a point for point, but you can't do that because somebody didn't watch the show. That's what I don't like in regards to the whole situation. If you don't watch something, then you are removed from talking about
Exactly.
said thing that you did not watch.
I agree.
Don't speak on it. If your stance is I'm not rocking with that, just say, hey man, I'm not rocking with that. And move on to what you do rock with.
Exactly.
Don't even speak on it.
That's why I said, like with me, I said I'm not really feeling like Jurassic World like that, but I'm not going to
This is
go on a
my
whole
thing, and this is
tirade
going to be
about why
forever
I
my thing.
don't want to see
I
it.
I understand that Ryan Coogler has done some stuff or whatever. And, as far as Black Panther and all, I get that. I get Marvel Studios has done things. I get all of that. I've said that multiple times. On the flip side of that, I don't. If you're going to be in this space, you're going to be about recasting Charlie, you're going to be, for my people. Don't do anything that's detrimental to, the people that is a part of these shows, too. Because there's actors, there's writers, there's directors, you know what I mean, that are black. They need that. But when you see the blatant hypocrisy from these people, from these SWSs that come in and review the show before it even dropped, did the thing yet when they came in and review bombed it. You got the neurotics, you got the geeks and gamers, you got these thumbnails. Don't associate yourself with that. That's what I'm saying. Don't associate yourself with that. I'm not saying you can't say the show is bad, but when you associate the optics of this and you come in and but you're asking for more black products for prominent black characters. If you're this, you think Marvel ain't watching that? You think Marvel doesn't know that geeks and gamers and all these other people, the Tyrone Magnus of the world is not out here? So why would you associate yourself with that type of film? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't say the show is bad, the show has bad writing. I'm saying that. It's the optics of the way that you do that. And I'm good.
I think you should say it to him.
I did.
He did.
You guys never streamed together, did you?
No, we're not talking about stream. We were supposed to do the stream.
Yeah, so just schedule a new one.
I missed the stream, but hold on, wait a minute. But I said, let's do it tomorrow. My man decided to take our private conversation and quickly screenshot what I said. You try to paint a narrative. That's why you got to watch the video. And I said, dog, you trying to paint a narrative? And I kept saying, and if you go back to our Twitter thread, I kept saying, well, we could just do it tomorrow. Are you available on Sunday? But she kept going. You know what I'm saying? He kept going. So that's why, it happened the way it happened. And I'm sorry, I'm at work. I'm inside of a truck. So that's
It's
the
hard to
reason
hear
why
you, but we can still make out what you're saying. Like, I heard you say geeks, but not gamers, but I knew what you meant.
Yeah, it's just I'm inside of a truck. I'm at work.
I tell you, what he's saying is, when you have a person that is regurgitating, I guess I would say white supremacist views, because that's what it is from that side, the geeks and gamers, the nerd riders. When you regurgitating those same views and you haven't even watched the show, to me, whatever respect, whatever credence, whatever anything respect that you've built up over, to me, you just lost it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do that? Because all it is the detriment of, because you're doing it to, it's at the detriment of of a black face or of a black person or whatever. And I ain't saying you gotta watch it because if you're black, you gotta watch it. You don't have to do jack. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to tell you what to watch and what not to watch? You ain't got to do jack. But if you're not gonna watch it, like I said, then shut the F up and go that way. You know what I mean? Because now you're just being disingenuous. And you're having a bad faith argument. I can't argue with you because you ain't seen. I can't debate with you, argue with you, nothing. You haven't seen it, and you don't plan on seeing it.
Okay. Before I saw it, no, I don't want to do that. You guys were talking. You're not talking to me, right? You're not talking.
No,
to
what
me.
you got to say, chill. Go ahead.
You're not talking to me. It's okay.
No, I would like to. I would like to hear your
It's
point.
just kind of not important to see something to criticize it if what they're advertising is that she is Eddie Guerrero and Chavo. They lie, they cheat, they steal. We're 3 episodes deep. She's still part of that little cult, right? We just saw somebody die in the 3rd episode. Like, before the thing came out that this was something that was a negative depiction, and we were associating for the millionth time, this time in the superhero world, we're associating the black identity with thieves, with immoral
Criminality.
actions.
And I said that. I said I don't like that they made her a criminal. I said that.
I didn't
even before the movie, even before the show dropped. I said I don't like that they make her a criminal because she was not a criminal.
That's my point.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that this show can't be good. Like you can have the stance of, hey man, I think it's a negative depiction, and I've seen a lot of people say that negative depiction. I'm not watching that because I don't like what they did with the character. That is a fine criticism. Like what you just said, that is a perfect critique and criticism of why you're not watching it. That ain't what he said. Okay. You didn't call it trash. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just put up, like Dre said, put up Dominique Thorne's picture looking goofy as your thumbnail. You had a perfect reason why you don't want to watch it. And I can't argue against that. Hey, look, man. I don't like that they depicting her as a criminal. I think that's bad. It don't make us look good. What am I to say to you, Chill? You see what I'm saying? What am I to say to that? But if Chill would have came out and said, hey man, that shit trash. It's just straight trash. It's trash. Look at it. It's trash. Well, why is it trash? Because it's trash. And then you start running off and doing the same thing that they say the reason why it's trash without watching it.
I think you need to have a one-on-one to get to that situation where you ask a follow-up question. Well, why is it trash? And you still get it's trash.
They had their time in the sun. They'll get to it, right? Chill.
Okay, can y'all hear me again?
Yes.
Do I sound better?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just give you this. That when you make these thumbnails, and I get what you're saying because I was listening to you. You said, okay, you don't want to associate black people with thieves and criminals and stuff like that, which I agree with. You know what I mean? But did we say the same thing? Thor was arrogant. Tony Stark was a warmonger. You know what I mean? Who got paid off of other people's destructions, because of his inventions or whatever. They already established her character as hustling, at MIT. So you knew that she was doing. You not hear me no more?
I think what's going on is when you're talking and getting a little bit too excited, I think it's peeking you out. So just kind of slow down. And
all right, hold on real quick. Hold on.
I think that's what's happening.
And comparing her to white characters isn't going to help me right now.
No, because I'm not comparing her to a white character because I'm about to make a point here in just a second once I get my headphones out of my ears. So give me just like a quick second real quick because I'm trying to park this truck real fast. So give me just a hot second.
This part right here. This makes all the sense. If the trailer is saying, I'm looking at the trailer by what the trailer is showing me, I don't want to watch it. Boom, that's it. In and out.
It's funny that y'all talking about, and I know y'all not talking about him, but why was I scrolling? As I was on mute right quick, I was scrolling through on my homepage on YouTube and came across a video that was posted 7 hours ago titled "Tyrone Magnus starts copyright striking criticism online. The fall off is insane."
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was blocking people because people was like, why did you copyright strike me for responding to your video? So he copyright strike.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is let me repeat what I was saying. This is my thing. When you are black in this creative space, right? We don't have that many as it is, especially in the mainstream. We don't have that. You know what I mean? I remember when I did the reaction video to Mantis because I didn't even know that was a thing back in the day. Because Mantis was a show that turned off way too blackity black people didn't like it, right? The executive decided, right? We need white this, we need white psychic.
Dre.
You are in the Matrix right now.
Yeah, you sound like Jarvis.
Oh,
I heard him say Mantis.
Megatron.
Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I'm out. I don't know what else to do. I'm out.
For some reason, it just came through clear now.
I'm
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
outside
why.
clear
and
now?
I'm out. No, no, this is not my. I don't have my headphones on. I'm in a truck. Y'all
Okay.
still
Oh,
can't hear
you.
me.
No,
Now
we
we
hear you
hear
well.
like you sound good
We can
right
hear you
now.
now.
Oh, it sounds better right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put them
Okay.
headphones back.
All right. I get the headphones are not in my ear.
Okay.
Anyway, let me
Okay.
do this real quick so I can get back to work. So I get back to what I was doing. I don't have a problem with Fatal J. Let me just say that. I don't know that guy personally like that. I seen a black man in the YouTube space, and there's not a lot of us in the YouTube space. So I'm gonna give him that. I don't have a problem personally with him. I never did shame, insults, guilt, so the need to be right when it came to him. I critiqued his take. That's what I critiqued. When I said that he was tasting the biscuits, what I meant was the activity that you're doing where you're saying something is trash when we don't even have a lot of black shows in your thumbnails and your rhetoric matches the ones at the top
Whatever
of
that
that.
tunnel is killing Dre. Like it is slapping Dre all
I was
over.
making it. I was making it up.
It is
And the thing
beating
is, like,
Dre.
the more and more he talked, the more and more
It's like he's
got
just
it.
going down a
Now,
hole. Or
now,
something.
now he's just fading. We can barely hear the static.
It's like he's getting further and further away.
Exactly. Somebody clip this.
Hey, that's Fatal messing with your signal, dog.
You said that he's against the activity. That's what he said.
Yeah, nah, ain't no beef. We know Dre ain't got no beef with Fatal, man. We know. But but there's nothing wrong with critiquing a take. And we've, at least me, Dre, and Chill, I think we got some bad, you know what I'm saying, previously for critiquing a take.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Evolutionary Comics did a video on me, and he mentioned the video. He didn't do it on me, but he mentioned that I don't agree with Chillmonger that there's only 2 black characters. And I listened to that and I said, oh, I put it out there. I did say those things. Now, it's a oversimplification if you just leave it at that, but that's what I said. I'm good. Evolutionary
I wasn't just talking about that one. I was talking about our other homeboy.
And do you know what? Do you know how? As I'm, Dre's not here right now. I wish Dre was still here. Never mind. I want like, there's ways to go about things, and I
say it. Nah, that Dre listening.
Just you don't need to provide oxygen to, keep.
You're right. You don't have to. But I mean, if this is therapeutic to you, get it off your chest, man, so we can move on.
Yeah, if it's gonna eat at you, you have to get it out. Everyone's different.
But let's keep moving. Do y'all want to keep moving? We done with that?
Yeah,
let's move forward.
Oh man,
I hope I don't hear tomorrow's stream when I hear Dre go, I was talking about Fatal J, and I'll be like, damn again.
Nah. I don't think. Like I said, it ain't no beef there, man. It's misunderstandings. It's 2 black men trying to get their point across. But I will say, it's like I said, for me, it's a credit deduction. Your credit score has gone down in my bank. You know what I'm saying? Your credit score went down, man. So, because it just seems disingenuous you doing that. I don't like if you haven't watched, and I've already said if you ain't watched it, if you're not gonna watch it, don't talk about it. There's a lot of things that I don't talk about that I ain't watched. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Point blank. Period.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get back because I got questions. Nostalgia. Is nostalgia bad, good, indifferent, especially going into 2026, 27 leading? Because it seems like nostalgia is Hollywood is looking at the 90s and saying, we got to recreate some of this stuff.
I think a lot of it's also so they can hold on to the IP.
Yeah. But I think a lot of them own it, though. Like I think a lot of
IPs, I know a lot of IPs expire after time, so they have to do. That's why they be doing a lot of these remakes and stuff like that, so they can hold on to them.
True, but I still think they own some. Does nostalgia work here? Is Superman been around since the 30s, 20s, 30s, something like that? We got Fantastic Four been around since the 60s. Well, yeah, since the 60s. Does nostalgia work here? Hell, Jurassic Park. When Michael Crichton wrote that book, I think in the 70s or something. But the movie came out. in the 90s. Does it work here? Is nostalgia the thing that's going to help here?
It always helps.
Mm.
Yeah.
You think nostalgia always helps?
The 80s were really in at one point in time. A lot of Transformers movies made a lot of money.
Some shouldn't have made any money. The last two shouldn't have made. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because then they should have moved on to the 90s. See, they didn't learn. And then it'll be the aughts. It'll be their turn. When Avatar happens, Avatar, which came out in 2004, I think, on Nickelodeon, they're going to make a new movie next year. You're going to see that some of those people all have grown up. So the nostalgia is a tried and true method. It's always going to, I'm happy for it. And especially if you're building on the old stuff and you're not just remaking it. Like, I don't want to see a Lilo and Stitch 2 just so that you guys can do a live action Lilo and Stitch 2 later on. Like, that's pretty uncreative, but it works, unfortunately.
I'm not mad at that. Torrin, what you got?
Repeat that again.
Nostalgia. Is it good, bad, indifferent? Does it work for these two movies going forward? What's your take on nostalgia?
I think because of the type of movies they are, it probably does work. And like you said, Superman has been around a long time. I mean, they've been doing Superman movies since the 70s. Superman has spawned off into TV shows and cartoons. I mean, it's been everywhere. So I think, like, nostalgia purposes is always going to be there, and the name speaks for itself. I mean, Superman is like the Michael Jackson of the comic book world. Like, you hear that name and people immediately know what it is. They may never read a Superman comic a day in their life or seen anything with Superman in it, but they know that name. When they hear it, they know it's a guy who flies with a red cape. He wears a suit with an S on it. That's all they need to know.
True that.
And and even I would say even with the Fantastic Four, the thing that gets them is because they are considered Marvel's first family. Like, they are the foundation. So that's what helps them out a lot, even though their iterations over the years has not been the best.
The best, yeah.
But so that's why I said Marvel needs a win with this one, because this is their first go at it. Every other version of the Fantastic Four, as far as movies goes, has been under Fox. And that's all that did. We ain't gonna count that third one.
He said we ain't gonna count the third one. You're right. That third one was, who did that? Forgot who did. Who was the director? They botched that. Trank.
Who did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he botched that.
I should say Superman is Prince, Batman is Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're interchangeable. I think depending on, I think they both act. To me, they both Michael. Just different iterations of Michael. Like, Superman is Michael. Thriller
Jordan
is Michael.
Is Michael Tyson? Michael Jackson?
We talking Jackson.
Yeah.
Superman is Thriller, Michael Jackson, and Batman is like everything after that. That's how I look at it. But no, nostalgia. Because the reason I'm speaking on, even with these two movies, we're seeing movies like He-Man showing up. What do you think He-Man will do?
Well, He-Man's definitely going to hit the people who were around at that time who saw it, because He-Man didn't have that big of a run. Like, it was condensed. It had a shorter run than a Superman and Batman. Where Batman and Superman, that transcended generations. He-Man was just for that time.
For that decade, yeah.
It wasn't able to go. It wasn't able to go past that decade.
Yeah, but it was that decade though. Like, it was.
But the thing is, people know who He-Man is, or whenever they hear the name Skeletor, so it's like, oh, okay.
I mean,
so
they
know that.
It made it past it. It was just the '80s was the hype for it, but it made it past the decade. I mean, because we just got a He-Man. You know, they wrapped up. Kevin Smith wrapped up his He-Man series. What, last year before last? So kids know He-Man. He-Man has been coming out. It's been dropping the He-Man every 5 to, you know what I'm saying, so many years or whatever.
I'll give you a perfect example. Look at Sonic. You know, Sonic was one of Sega's premier games back in the day, and that has transcended generations, especially in the games, because like it's still around. And now they have these movies that have made over $1 billion, and now they're about to come out with a fourth one. So Sonic is a perfect example of a nostalgic IP that continues to grow, and because they have so many characters that they can add to it to make the movies even better, and it's like they get better with every movie. So shout out to Paramount, because they know what they're doing over there with that.
Yeah, well, I think they always knew what it is. Sonic, You know what? And what's crazy is, I mean, they ain't really gonna tell you, but Sonic is black. Like the whole, and I don't mean like just the character. I mean like everything surrounding Sonic is black. You know what I'm saying? Culturally, it's black. I don't know if y'all really peep all that, but
I always thought Knuckles was black.
Sonic is black. I mean, you know, Sonic was Steve Urkel anyway, but to me, that whole everything, especially with the cartoons coming out, all of that is black. A lot of those designs were based off of either rappers or R&B singers.
Just like I think Predator is black. He got locks.
Predator is black. It was a black man underneath that suit. Predator black. They kicked Van Damme to the curb and said, "Nah, we need a black man."
And so was Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. I like this question. Aisha says, "Who's the audience for He-Man?" I want y'all to answer that. Do you think before you let me rephrase her question? Does He-Man have an audience in 2025?
Probably
on the big screen.
No.
From back then, most likely.
Yeah, the people from back then, the guys who are now 40.
So just me, huh? I'm gonna be the only one in there.
It's not just you, but I mean like people in your age group. Yeah,
They did nothing to maintain. At least Power Rangers had a new season every year, and so we've got, if they did a Power Rangers movie, that's like 30 years of generations.
Good point. Yeah, Power Rangers. Yeah,
no. He-Man did. I don't think we got a He-Man in 2000 or something like that. He-Man took a long break and then they brought it back. So I feel what you're saying. Power Rangers just keep running. So I'm like, Power Rangers got to stop, man. But they keep running. So I agree with you on that. When they say 85, I think that's when it came out.
Yeah,
85.
and if they would have took 5 years off and they rebooted, that's fine. Yeah, you can maintain. Because I think we went 5 years without a Superman cartoon, lots of times.
Yeah, but Superman was always on. That's the thing. Superman has been on TV nonstop. So we've had Smallville, the Justice League cartoons, the animated series Superman, and that's
Superman
just from going
Returns.
from that's just in the 2000s. Well, Superman cartoon, the animated series, that was in the 90s. Like since Christopher Reeve's Superman movies stopped, we've always had Superman on TV.
Yeah,
don't
forget the Adventures of Superman and Lois.
Yep,
with Dean Cain.
Always. Superman has not went away whatsoever.
At all. You're right. Now that I think about it, because when they started with Superman in the 70s, you had that one. Then you had the two movies that came out in the 80s. Then you had the Adventures of Superman and Lois in the 90s. Then you had Smallville in the early 2000s. The Justice League cartoon and the Superman cartoon in the 90s.
Justice League cartoon.
And then after Smallville, you had Man of Steel.
Then
you had BVS, the Justice League.
And then you got.
And now you had
the Superman TV show that happened.
You had that recent one on CW, and now you have this Superman that's coming out. So
you
Superman
forgot all the animated movies too.
And then all the animated, Superman.
So
has
literally,
been
Superman has been around every decade for the last 5 decades at least.
No matter what,
in some form
of fashion. Yep.
He-Man can't say that.
No, he can't.
Exactly.
He-Man can't say that.
That's why I mentioned Sonic, because Sonic started in the 90s and literally has had a run from the 90s to now.
You talking about coming out from the game?
From the game all the way up until now, because you got to think how many Sonic games have they made? Even the spinoff characters, Knuckles had a game, Shadow had a game. So
Smash Brothers.
Yeah. And that cartoon, I think what it was on WB.
Oh, it did have a cartoon. I forgot. Yeah,
the Sonic cartoon that was on WB.
Jaleel White did the voice.
And that lasted a long time. So what?
Sonic Underground or Sonic X?
See, it was the Adventures of Sonic Underground. So it's been multiple Sonic cartoons. That's what I'm saying. It's been multiple.
The same thing can be said about the Super Mario Brothers. That's been around since Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was the one that really started that off, and then it went off to Mario, and that's had a run. And now they have a movie that made $1 billion a couple years ago, and they're still making Mario Kart games and all types of stuff, and Smash Brothers.
You think they don't believe in He-Man like that to be a staple? It ain't as strong because the way I look at it, like the 80s, those cartoons is what to me is what's driving. To me, is what drives nerd culture, right? 80s cartoons to me drives nerd culture.
I won't disagree with that.
Huh?
I said I won't disagree with you on that.
Yeah, so with me saying that, like, I wonder why they haven't put a lot of stake in the He-Man, Voltron, Transformers, G.I. Joe, what am I missing? Thundercats. You know what I'm saying? Why those are heavy hitters in and still I think the IP still can resonate some money. Every now and then they'll come out and do some things, you know what I'm saying? With those IPs, but they don't push them the way that, like, you just, we bringing up Superman just all the time. I'm pretty sure there can be a Superman channel if we wanted to play nothing but Superman nonstop, and they wouldn't run out. You see what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they push those big 80s IPs? You brought up Smurfs. We getting a Smurfs movie.
Yeah, another Smurfs movie. This is like
another
Smurfs movies. Is this like their third or fourth Smurfs movie? I lost count.
And we've only had one He-Man movie that came out in the 80s. To me, that's crazy.
Well, see, the thing is, I think He-Man, while it was a cartoon and a lot of kids were there, Smurfs is a family thing. Where with He-Man, it was designated to, it wasn't really a family cartoon. Smurfs was a family thing.
I mean, yeah, the thing, now you're making me rethink what I got to say. Those 80s cartoons also were just 30-minute commercials for toys.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think that can still work today, though. That's all I'm saying. I think that still works today.
That's another thing you just brought up. They have to find a way to sell those toys. If they ain't selling them toys, it's not going to work. That's why I said that with Superman, that's why why do you think with Superman, a huge part of the marketing is crypto? Crypto is the cuteness factor of that movie, and it's going to be a heavy toy push with crypto. I was saying on another podcast a couple weeks ago, watch when they have that LA premiere for Superman. They gonna have a crypto on that red carpet wearing a cape, and all the attention is going to go to it. That's just something I put out there. I'm not saying that they are going to do it, but if James Gunn was smart, he'll do it. He'll put a dog out there, call it crypto, put a red cape on it, and watch everybody pay attention to it.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna happen.
Just like the cuteness factor of Fantastic Four is going to be Herbie and Franklin Richards.
Yeah. I don't think Herbie sells like Crypto the dog will sell, though.
I'm telling you, but the thing is, Herbie. A lot of people have been wanting Herbie and Fantastic Four for a while because it's like, wow, you just sideline Herbie and you have all these Fantastic Four movies, and Herbie's never there, but Herbie plays a part with that team.
Let me ask y'all this, since I'm the old head on here. What's nostalgia for y'all? What out of y'all childhood would y'all like to see?
Chill said one of them, Power Rangers. That's a huge nostalgic thing for me, particularly the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The first iteration, okay.
I also mentioned Avatar from Nickelodeon. That's good. Harry Potter.
Yeah.
See, y'all still got y'all stuff right.
Who do you remember? Beetleborgs.
Not Beetleborg. I remember Beetleborg. I remember Beetleborgs. I remember VR Rangers. I remember it was one with. I think they turned into werewolves. Like, I remember it was all these Power Ranger copycat shows that came out. I remember all of them.
Yeah, it was a lot of copycat Power Rangers back in Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Powerpuff Girls.
I was mad that the live action didn't happen. I'm gonna tell you that truth. I was mad the live action didn't happen.
You should go see the footage from it. It wasn't. They have a trailer.
I did. I'm just saying. I hate that they didn't do it correct. That's all I'm saying, because I think if they would have just stuck to them being teens instead of trying to grow them up, I think it would have worked better.
Also, Recess.
How you gonna do Recess over again? It's just six friends.
I know they did a movie. They did a movie for Recess, but it wasn't live action. It was just it was an animated movie.
School's Out.
They did. Yeah, I remember they did an animated version for a movie for Doug. Remember they did that show Doug? They did a movie for that.
I wouldn't mind if they did Recess episodes, like Phineas and Ferb is starting over. It's just next year, so instead of grade 4, they would be grade 5. That would be good to see Recess continue.
That's crazy.
Hey Arnold would be nice.
Y'all talk about cartoons that my son watched. That's crazy. Phineas and Ferb was that joint, though. I used to watch Phineas and Ferb with him. Phineas and Ferb. What was the other one he watched?
The Replacements.
Nah.
American Dragon.
The one with the dude was on the bot. He don't worry about it.
Hey Arnold.
Rugrats is my
Oh yeah,
generation.
Rugrats. Oh yeah, I love
That's me.
Rugrats.
I was a kid when Rugrats was out.
Yeah, but
I
they
And
had
remember the
their
first.
chance.
I remember when the first Rugrats movie came out. How big of a deal that was.
yeah, huge deal. That's when y'all
I'll
first.
give you some nostalgia. Remember the old Nickelodeon tapes that were orange?
Yep.
Those orange Nickelodeon tapes.
Chill don't even remember VHS tapes. He like, what? What are you talking about?
I didn't have the Nickelodeon channel.
No, he's talking about the VHS
I'm
tapes.
talking the VHS tapes. That when they did
tapes.
Nickelodeon movies, the tapes were orange instead of
Okay.
black.
Yeah. And y'all, you didn't have Nickelodeon. What did they have?
Well, they would have the same shows that Nickelodeon
Mm.
airs, but it would be on a Canadian station instead.
So you watched Degrassi.
Yeah, but it was a CTV original. And
CTV.
Yeah. You see, for us down in the States, when we watched Degrassi, it was on a channel called The N.
I didn't even watch Degrassi, so when I watched it was on MTV.
Well, Blue, when Degrassi came on, you was older, so I can understand why you didn't watch it. Like you was already, like you was phased out. See, Degrassi that fit perfectly in my age bracket because I was like when the one where Aubrey, I'm not calling that man Drake. Aubrey was on Wheelchair Jimmy. That's what I started calling him after his character got shot, and he was in that Wheelchair Jimmy. That was like early 2000s for me. When I tell you, I said, I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad I'm not these kids because they got a lot of problems. I mean, you go out of issue when they had it. I mean, between domestic abuse, teen pregnancy, violations, it's a 4-letter R word, but I ain't gonna say it on here.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I think more stuff,
drugs, all types of stuff was on that show.
But see, that reminds me of the shows that I grew up watching. Like that's what happened on Fresh Prince. That's what happened on.
Oh yeah, Fresh Prince, definitely.
What's the joint?
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
caffeine pills.
Yeah, caffeine. Hey man,
Oh yeah, caffeine.
don't mess with them caffeine pills. Today you look back at that and be like, man, caffeine pills. Get that out of here. But
that's what I liked about shows back then is that even though they had kids shows that were geared to kids, they actually took time out to go into real life issues. A Different World
Full
was
House,
one of
Different
the main
World.
ones that did it.
Step by Step. All of them dealt with real things that was, you know what I'm saying, and they wasn't scared to
touch on it.
Touch on them and actually
nowadays you got to tiptoe around it.
Yeah, they wasn't scared of racism. Believe it or not, racism was real big back then.
A Different World touched on that a lot.
You know, trying to show how bad it is.
Even
now they'd be scared to do something like that.
Even on That's So Raven, they touched on it. Like it was an episode with that dealt with racism. It even was an episode that dealt with weight issues.
They got all into it, man. So I like. Yeah. I wish they would bring that back because they act like these kids got to be baby. Like, nah, man, let these kids.
I forgot about City Guys. I love City Guys. City Guys was basically the urban version of Saved by the Bell. Yeah, it was made by the same people, but they just made an urban version. It didn't
last. Boy Meets World. Yeah.
Boy Meets World was mine.
I heard Sabrina Carpenter was on that.
Who?
Sabrina Carpenter was an actress on Girl Meets World.
No, we said Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
We said Boy Meets World, not Girl Meets World. That's later.
Yeah, so they rebooted it, right? Even Degrassi, Aubrey Graham Degrassi, even that it's actually called Degrassi: The Next Generation because in the 80s, it was a Degrassi, and they've just redone it. So I think now with whatever the break has been since the previous iteration of Degrassi ended, I don't know, it might have ended on Netflix in 2019, maybe. It's been a good 6 years. Now you can bring Degrassi back. You can make some of the students from the Aubrey Graham era, make some of them teachers, make some of them in the neighborhood.
What they did with like Saved by the Bell. Yeah, they did that.
Because that's basically what the original Degrassi was. The original Degrassi was the teens of that time, but they went on to be, like Chill said, the teachers or even the parents of some of the kids from the new generation.
What is Degrassi? Like, what does that mean? Degrassi. What is it?
That's the name of the school. That's the name of the school. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I've never watched it. Never in
it's life. A really good show, Blue. Like even with someone like at your age could go and watch it and be like, wow, these kids went through some stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the saddest episodes for me was when it was a character on there named JT. He had got this girl pregnant, and they were like, she was like a teenager, but she had ended up getting an abortion without telling him, and then he was trying to step up because he was always seen as the clown, as the class clown, but he was being serious. But what was so sad was when his character ended up getting killed off, and then she got upset. I said, I don't feel bad for you. You went and got an abortion behind this boy's back when he didn't even want that to happen because you didn't think he was going to be responsible enough to help take care of you and his child. And then when he gets killed, then you want to be all upset about it because now you went and took the last thing that would have connected y'all away. If you would have stayed pregnant and had the child, then you would have had a connection through that. But now it's gone. I was so mad with her character when she did that.
I think Liberty
you about to make me get off my soapbox with this.
Go ahead, Chill. What you saying?
He said abortion. I think it's an adoption. I'm pretty sure she didn't abort the baby. They just gave it up.
No, she had an abortion. She never gave birth.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she started the show, but I think she did have an abortion though.
Reboot was horrible, Culture. I hated that.
I remember Reboot. I didn't like Reboot either. I had a toy. I had one of the toys from Reboot, but I didn't really like the show.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Reboot to come back and finish up.
No,
Reboot can stay right where it's at.
Yep, it can stay right wherever it's at.
Bob, when Enzo grew up and he became, what was his Matrix? He had a nickname. It was cool.
Reboot. To me, that's when I knew that Saturday morning cartoons was over with.
Yeah, because they were starting to. That's when they were starting to do that 3-dimensional animation.
That's when I knew it was over.
I started a cartoon.
Yeah, once Reboot, that's it for Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, I got one for you. Do y'all remember that show Erie, Indiana?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that came on Fox Kids. That came on Fox Kids. Yeah, I remember that show. That I loved Erie, Indiana.
He was like a detective or something, right? He was paranormal stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of paranormal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't mean to call him a detective, but he was, kind of like a Nancy Drew type situation.
It was like they lived literally in Indiana, and a lot of weird stuff would happen, and he would notice it, and everyone else thought he was weird. Something was weird with him, but no, he wasn't. He just noticed weird things.
They say thoughts on the reboot of King of the Hill. I'll let y'all take what y'all think. King of the Hill.
You know what? Don't get me with this, but I have not seen one episode of King of the Hill.
I won't get you on that. I've only seen it. I've never watched it like all the way through. Or like, I gotta watch King of the Hill. And I like Mike Judge because I'm a big Beavis and Butthead fan. But it never really like.
It never resonated with me. Like I did watch Beavis and Butthead. Well, not so much the show, but when the movie came out, Do America.
I grew up off like Beavis and Butthead because Beavis and Butthead was like a thing. Like, what they doing this on TV? It was one. You know what I'm saying? Like Beavis and Butthead now, and it don't. Like, oh, okay, that's what they doing. That's corn. But back then, it was like they saying that on TV, or they letting them do that. And, you know what I'm saying?
Or like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, it was one of them. Man, it was one of them like. Your parents wouldn't let you watch Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah, because it's like you gotta think like like when they started allowing to have cussing happen in animated shows, that's when you knew it was headed into a whole. This was not your parents' generation style of cartoons anymore.
Right.
Like
I tried to get that off too. Like it's a cartoon, so my mom's ain't gonna care. But as soon as he heard.
But man,
I think damn or something like that. That was it.
Listen, the world changed. The world literally got tilted on its axis when Aaron McGruder came along and did the Boondocks.
Boondocks, yeah.
Woo! Now that was a revolutionary show right there. Yeah. And I mean, they called out everything, and everything that they called out pretty much happened.
Yeah. Chill, what you think? King of the Hill reboot?
I didn't also watch that show. Didn't care for it. I know Bobby is the character. Booner is the character.
Boomhauser. That's the only one I know.
Yeah, that's it. I don't really care about the show. Boondocks was fire, but they tried to come back every now and again. Season 4 was a try to come back, but they did it without Aaron McGruder, and it was lame. I don't think I finished.
Because he wasn't attached to it. That's
the same way they did Chappelle's show. Like, that last season or whatever they called that last season. Even though Chappelle was in it, it was like you could tell the soul wasn't there.
One of my favorite episodes of the Boondocks was the Red Ball.
Yeah, season 3.
The Red Ball was one of my favorite episodes.
Mm-hmm. Pumali said they need a live action Boondocks. I don't think they could do it like, but I think and the reason why I say that is because with the cartoon, the voices is kind of what made those characters come alive, and you can't go and get Regina King, I'm sorry, to play Huey and Riley.
Riley.
That ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I remember when I was in college and I used to watch. It used to come on every Sunday night, like
and
at
Pops
like
has
on
passed
like
away,
11.
so you can't get him.
It used to come on late on Adult Swim, and it was me and another person I went to college with. On Monday, we would always talk about the episode. Lincoln Heights was good. That was a really good show.
Lincoln Heights is real good. You seen that, Chill? Lincoln Heights?
No.
I'm gonna put you on some stuff.
I don't think they have TV One up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on some stuff. I think that's why your argument, when you say something, your argument about like not having black things out there, I get like a little, because it's a lot of black stuff, and you might have just missed it. You know what I mean? You might have just missed it due to how TV is up there. You might have just missed it because Lincoln Heights. What's another one I'll put you on?
When did Lincoln Heights start? When did it air?
I want to say it was like the early 2000s. I want to say
I want to say like
05 or something like there.
06.
I didn't have a channel in
I
06.
think it stayed up for like 3 or 4 seasons.
Let me see.
I didn't have a channel back then. Why would I have brought up Lincoln Heights?
No, I'm just saying for things to watch.
I don't want to watch something old. I want to talk about the new things. I want to talk about the current. The thing where viewership is going to be at. I can't spend here talking about some old thing that's not being marketed, that's not in the zeitgeist, that's going to garner viewership.
You got to quit trying to do that, man. Just
I'm not even going to hold. And Blue, I'm not even gonna hold you. I used to have the on Lincoln Heights because I know it was like. Well, see, the thing is, Chill, you would have liked that show Lincoln Heights because it actually showed the non-stereotypical black family because the dad was a cop. I forgot what the mom did, and then they had 3 kids. They had 2 daughters and a son.
I want to say she was like
and they lived in the suburbs. They didn't live in the hood.
They lived in the hood. The daughter ran that one episode. The daughter ran away, and she. Boy, that was.
And I would rather talk about Riri Williams, who grew up in a nice suburban home, but in
I
this
think
TV
that was the first
show,
time I seen Chadwick Boseman.
Adapted her to live in some apartment, and
he was in the episode of that. I forgot he was in the episode of that.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that Chadwick Boseman actually got started on a soap opera.
Yep. Him and guess who took over his role after he left? Michael B. Jordan.
And Michael B. Jordan.
He got recasted with Michael B. Jordan.
To Live.
Yep.
No, All My Children. Was it All My Children?
She was a nurse. Yeah, that's what it was. She was a nurse. What you said, Chill? You had said something. You rather do what? I was talking.
I said because it's relevant now that Riri Williams grew up in a suburban home, but instead of adapting that 1-to-1, they took liberties with the TV show, making her live in an apartment that's not even very spacious. You see the difference. That's relevant right now. Mm-hmm. That's what I'd rather tell people instead of Lincoln Heights.
Well, this would be good as for having a comparative narrative to give to people when you see what I'm saying? It's like just having research or sources to cite. See, right. You know what I'm saying? In Lincoln Heights, this is what we can have this, and it could be a good show, but y'all choose to do this. You know what I mean?
I'm never gonna hold you. The actress who played the younger daughter in Lincoln Heights, I used to have a huge crush on her.
The younger daughter?
Yeah.
Was it Megan Good?
No, it wasn't Megan Good. I think her name is Ryan Brown or Ryan Browning or something like that.
I had a crush on the wife.
that was a good looking cast. The older daughter wasn't bad on the eyes.
And I had a crush on the wife and the older daughter. The older daughter was in what she can't remember what she was in. But yeah. Chill want to talk Ironheart. So you watch? I mean, I was watching y'all, but I was also live at the time.
Oh, I want to talk about your crush, bro. Here, play it. So share the screen.
What's that?
Torian has a crush on Ryan Browning. Yeah?
No, that was not. That was definitely not.
Who was that, man? I don't even know who is this.
Let me see if I can.
You still got an hour and a half in Pride Month. Don't be ashamed, bro.
Oh man, that's funny.
What is her? What is?
You funny. We can hit on Riri right quick before we wrap everything up, man.
What we're seeing is not aspirational. It's kind of the same old, same old. It sucks that there's 100
Ryan
million.
Nicole Brown was her name.
Oh, okay. Ryan Nicole Brown. We'll give him a pass.
What you saying?
That it's so much budget, right? This isn't like a guy with a camcorder who's barely making it fresh out of film school. What story do I do? Or we're gonna do a young girl who needs to make money and she turns to crime.
Mm.
This is Disney, the same people who gave us Deadpool and Wolverine, or what was the previous thing before this? Secret Invasion. They gave us heroes. Oh, let's save the world. Let's make things better. And we're over here watching a black girl do underground heists and stealing cars and not saving people as they die out of oxygen when they could easily just lift them up and carry them out, and then lying about it to the hood, and all that stuff is just not good.
I don't mind her leaving Buddy there. I don't even look at that as like
she had to look. Listen, she had to look out for herself at that point
because
she was also losing her life in that same room because of the carbon monoxide. Like she was being
he was trying to kill her. So I give that part, I give that part a pass. But I, like I said from the jump, I didn't think that she needed to be in criminality. And there's so many places that they can pull from to where she does it, even if they don't want to go strictly out of the comics. Like, I just saved one thing. I'm at MIT. I made the fucking vibranium finder. Do you know who's knocking down my door after I make that vibranium finder? Every weapons company in the world is probably knocking down my door, right?
The government too.
They ain't knocking down my door. I went to Wakanda, helped them stave off the fish people, right? Nothing from Wakanda. I don't even remember them they gave her a car that I don't even remember. They said they gave her a car.
Yeah, they sent her car back because remember she was working on that car, her dad's car, her stepdad's.
That's
car.
How you know that I really. After I watched it that one time,
because she was working on that there in Wakanda. That's the only thing that they allow her to send, back with her, but they didn't let her keep the suit.
So right. So now, me, Egghead, Riri Williams at MIT, who just made a suit of armor that I paid for with my grant money. I make the suit of armor. I got to go home to Chicago, live with my moms. Moms didn't even, and I had an issue with the moms too. Like, if I would have just flew back home, my mom's like, "What the hell you doing here? It ain't. I'm not just getting a hug. I'm probably getting the belt. You know what I'm saying, or something." But why was she broke? Why? And you know what I'm saying? I hate that Sam didn't have money. Riri ain't got money. Like, what is going on? Why is it that Rhodey, only reason why Rhodey got, because he's still in the military, but Rhodey ain't Rhodey. Rhodey end up being a damn scroll. Like,
and I just realized the continuity thing too with the car. Because I remember like watching the episodes of episode 2, I think it was episode 2, that car that Riri in the flashback. Where she and her stepdad and Natalie are in the garage and they working on that car. That's the same car that Riri was telling then Shuri and Okoye about working on and trying to get it done in Wakanda Forever. That's that same car, the same exact car, but that she got fixed that they sent back.
Look, continuity. I always said this. I said Ryan Coogler don't give a damn about the previous stuff that he did. Chill, haven't I said that before? Ryan Coogler don't whatever he did previously, that is out of his mind, and he is rewriting some new stuff. So, and I know he didn't write it, but he is the big name as far as the executive producer, and Ryan Coogler, executive producer. So I'm putting it on him. Got to put it on him. Got to. And I should know every college student is not broke, working at MIT, and I just invented the vibranium. They probably pulling me out of college to come work for them. That's what's happening. Lockheed Martin.
Remember also like in Wakanda Forever, when Shuri and Okoye came and confronted her about it, she says, "I didn't know that's what I had built." She said, "I thought it was just something I was making for my class," and she said my teacher took it. So she didn't even know, like she just thought she was just making. She didn't know what she was making.
True, I guess.
And it just happened to be something that was able to find and locate vibranium. So, and the teacher that she had found out, and also she kind of alludes to that in the first episode, that she was doing homework assignments that even her professors was questioning her about because she was smarter than they were.
But she had connections with the queen of Wakanda. She had connections that helped save this whole entire country.
That's why I'm
not existing anymore.
The whole country,
and they couldn't pay your guys' rent, or at least moved you somewhere.
Or put her in the Wakandan Fellowship out in Oakland. If that's the only one that they opened up before T'Challa went and had sex and had bastard babies and died, you know what I'm saying? Like,
just make a little internet transfer to the bank account of Riri Williams or Ronnie, and I'm good. That didn't happen. We had to depict this low
they didn't have
status lifestyle.
They didn't have to go full, even with Drake comes in and he's well, this is what they did in Wakanda Forever. I get that. Her doing people's homework is fine. I don't mind. People do that all the time in college. Hey, yeah, I do the paper for you. Just, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind that. I don't even look at that as criminal stuff. That's just cheating to me. You cheating, you know what I'm saying? But then now to come in and now the hood can entice you and with, you know, some stacks, some bread. I don't like that. And I don't like how easily she fell into it.
But the thing is about Wakanda is that they're very tribal. The only reason they went to go get her is because they found out what she was making could have been detrimental to their nation. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone after her. But they had to. And also, too, it was a safety thing because they knew that people with even more bad intentions were coming after her with intentions to, of course, take her out and also use what she made to go and invade Wakanda even more, or try to. So that's why they get to her first. Because at least with us, at least we can protect you. Those individuals out there, they are not going to protect you at all. They want to get rid of you.
The reason why, and I hear you on that, because I do agree they're very tribal and stuff like that. But the reason why I don't subscribe to that is they gave Sam a whole suit and wings, and he works for the United States government. That's why I don't jack that. But once again, that's when you don't have two creators talking, you know. Let me get a super chat real quick. Buck says somebody should have gave that girl a job. Shuri could have got her a lab or something.
See, I wasn't even thinking about that. She should have her own lab, her Wakandan lab.
She could be working for Wakanda. Let me stop.
Remember, she calls Wakanda. She said that was her where she did her internship. She has to code speak it.
Mm-hmm. I got something for you. Let me give you this one.
Something Boondocks.
You want some Boondocks?
For me? Oh, I can't believe it. Thank you, boy. Oh, you're the best friend.
I'll put Latinos after the first name on now. The hood.
Don't forget Pedro.
Was Sam still attached to the U.S. government when he got that suit from Wakanda, or nah? Because I don't think
so he got the wings first as a favor through the White Wolf, right? Through Bucky. Now he shows up with a whole suit that generates, you know, that does the whole
the kinetic energy thing.
Yeah. That's what threw me off. Okay, cool. You got the vibranium wings. Cool. Now you got a suit. Now you show up with a whole vibranium suit and technologies. Nah. Now you just vibranium man. Suit, shield, wings. Like you vibranium man.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I have no shame. You give me a suit, made a whole armor.
No, I ain't. If I'm saying this, I'm just talking about as far as what the Wakandans. They didn't let Shuri have her suit, but then they let Sam have this. That's all I'm saying. I'm just talking about the hypocrisy of the Wakandans.
Make it make sense.
That's all.
I think I gotta watch Wakanda Forever again, just so I can have a frame of reference, and I can use that to cite my source. Blue.
Look at you. I don't know if that's shade or not, but yes.
I'll never revisit that one. Just nothing can happen that'll make me say I need it. No. If I need footage for a YouTube video, I might like go to a scene, screen record it. That's it. I'm not gonna sit for 2 hours.
Yeah, nah, you ain't gotta watch that. If you need to go and look at a certain part, I guess, but nah.
But I think another thing is too for me is that by her not being able to keep the suit, it adds to Riri's arc of her building her own suit and not having to rely on their stuff.
Cool.
Because then if they say that, then like, oh, Riri kept this suit. Now she now if she's using it as a crutch, like how does that make her an actual hero if she can't build something?
But she built that suit. It ain't like she didn't build the Wakandan suit. She built that. Sure, it didn't help her build that suit.
Well, I would say build her own version of it without their tech.
I mean, I guess I don't think that takes away if she now has this suit and she's doing superhero things. I don't think that takes away from Riri. They could still have the PTSD, you know, they could still have that playing in the background to have her struggling with PTSD, or she builds that suit, but the AI is messed up. So her whole thing is making AI, right? She puts new AI in the Wakandan suit. It's Natalie, yada yada yada. We good to go. And I told this to Chill last week. Peter Parker, who is the solo character in Marvel comic books, took Riri's story.
I agree.
That's Riri's story.
And I said that before, even because think about it, even in every Spider-Man movie, he had a crutch. Like he had Iron Man as a crutch. In Homecoming, he had Nick Fury and Maria Hill as a crutch in Far From Home, and then he had he had both Spider-Men and all the other characters from the old Spider-Man movies in No Way Home. And now in this one, he's about to have, Punisher, I can't even name them, a Punisher, Shang-Chi, and all these other characters that's supposed to be in it. So he's never really stood alone.
But that's Spider-Man's thing, is he's a loner. I don't think Spider-Man joined a group until he was like officially in Avengers. What that was, late 90s, early 2000s. Like he was never like, I mean, he filled in for a Fantastic Four, but as far as being in a group, you know what I mean? He's never been in a group. He's a solo guy. He does things solo. And for them to give Riri's story with Tony and all of that to him,
I agree,
did a disservice to Riri.
And the thing is, people keep saying, why can't they have Tony? Well, first off, two things. One, Tony Stark is dead, so that ain't happening.
They can still do the AI because he was dead when Riri showed up in the comics. He was dead.
That was about to go into my next point. It's going to be too expensive with RDJ. Even to just use his
RDJ.
voice.
I think that's the bad thing. We didn't get RDJ for Tony Stark in What If. RDJ didn't show up for Tony Stark in What If, season 1 or season 2. Am I wrong?
Did they? Hold on.
You're not wrong. He never showed up for those. Scarlett Johansson didn't do the voice for Widow.
So we don't need Tony Stark's face. What if the AI was the armor with the voice actor from What If being Tony Stark?
I guess. But would Robert Downey Jr. like co-sign that, or would he go?
Who cares? He ain't Iron Man, just like Chad ain't Black Panther. Who cares?
Iron Man character is dead.
You have to keep Robert Downey happy if you want to continue a relationship with him.
He's doing Doom. He's being Doom right now.
He coming back as Doom. You think he cared about?
Listen, I think RDJ already gave like the seal of approval already, like with the show. But he said that's all I can do because it don't cost nothing for me to say that I like the show.
If they say, "Hey man, we're using a Tony Stark AI in this show," I don't think he cares.
I think he's gonna think, without me, well, you're not even gonna offer me that. Wait for me to say no.
Well,
first.
I mean, hey, if they offer him, then fine. But at the end of the day, we moving with or without you. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that's going to be received well. You're moving with or without me, so I'm not essential to this character. I'm right here. Just pay the money, but you're going to have someone mock my voice? Okay.
They already had somebody mock his voice.
I'm sure he said no to the What If.
And they did it without him. What do you mean? I don't.
They sure did.
Because
then again, What If also did come out after Endgame too, so there's that.
But when was this supposed to come out?
What?
This show was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yeah, but then the writer's strike happened. So it got delayed.
But it was done. All I'm saying is the show was done 2 years ago.
I want to say the show was probably going to come out maybe a year after Wakanda Forever, which would make sense. Realistically, say maybe around 2023.
And
so
when
we're
did What If come
watching.
out?
So we're watching like 2-year-old footage, 2-3-year-old footage.
Yeah. So when did What If come out? 2022.
When did
Maybe.
What If?
You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see why that would have been an issue back then to do his voice.
Because you're
It
playing
came to 2021,
2021.
which was before Wakanda Forever.
So you're gonna ask someone who's pretending to be the very being that Robert Downey Jr. was playing, not a cartoon version, not an alternate What If.
No, it's an AI. It's AI.
Yeah, and you're pretending to be the voice of Tony Stark, which was voiced by Robert Downey. He's not gonna like that.
Why? Hold on, chill. I think you're giving like Robert Downey like he's King Dingaling or something. Like, who cares what Robert Downey got to say about me
Robert
using
Downey.
my own character? Robert Downey can kick rocks. At the end of the day, Robert Downey can kick rocks.
He worried
In
about people being
2023,
doomed right now.
2022, when this was filming, Robert Downey can kick rocks. We're not bringing you back, dog. That's not even on our brain at that point in time. Remember, timeline wise, we're not thinking about Doom. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, maybe now because
the thing is, here's the
But
thing:
back
if they
then,
make him AI, if they make him AI, that means they don't have to use his voice, but if they're using his likeness, then he would have to get paid.
No, that's why I said him. Just the armor, like the AI, the picture of the AI would be the Iron Man armor. It don't have to be Tony Stark's face. We just gonna use his voice with a modifier, like how you hear Tony speaking through the Iron Man suit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I got a question though, and this is something that no one has brought up because this is Marvel at the end of the day. So we all know that tomorrow is the last 3 episodes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think? And I want to get the input from the chat as well. What do you think in episode 6? Do you think the post-credit scene is going to be? If you just had to throw out something, what do you think we're going to see? And is it going to add in to the ongoing story, or is it going to be just like, okay, whatever?
I was gonna say, when's the last good post-credit scene? But Thunderbolts had a good post-credit scene. But before that, nothing.
I don't
know
think
what
we
they
get a
do here.
post-credit scene.
I don't know. Low expectations.
Tell you the truth, I don't think we get a post-credit scene
Oh, I think it's going to be one there.
unless they just film one. But I don't think we get a post-credit scene.
Oh, it could be Kamala Khan saying, "Join my team." There.
Maybe.
Or maybe going back to the AI thing, maybe she gets a message from Tony Stark in another universe.
Something they would have shot in recently then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless it was shot recently, but
Because isn't Riri in Secret Wars? Isn't she gonna be in Secret Wars?
No, she hasn't been advertised yet. But
yeah, and I don't recall seeing her chair. I don't recall seeing her chair.
She'll be in it. She'll have her moment.
Well, what I mean is that's Doomsday. I'm just talking about Secret Wars.
Oh, you mean after Doom? Oh, I don't know.
After Doomsday.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
But I truly believe that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a
Dormammu. Dormammu could show up because I mean the Hood is really associated more with Dormammu than Mephisto, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm looking forward to episode 5 because I don't know if y'all saw the episode list, but if you noticed, I forgot what the name of the episode is, but I noticed that the episode it had an M in it, and the M was outlined in red. If you paid attention.
Oh yeah, Mephisto showing it. Yeah, should be
Sacha
Mephisto
Baron
showing
Cohen.
up. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen should be showing up.
And I saw those rooms, and I saw the rooms.
Mm. Yeah, he should be showing up. I just hope Agatha don't pop in there or some shit like
that. Nah, Agatha is with what's his name, Tommy, or was that Billy? I forgot which
one of
them. What
yeah.
sibling? Which
Tommy,
one of Wanda's kids that is? Yes, that's who she's with right now.
But no, I don't know. I would if they did a post, I would like for it to be like Iron. What it is? Armor War type situation. But I think that ship didn't sell. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't want this to connect to anything going forward. I really don't, because I would rather them, if they're going to do what they said they're going to do with the Disney Plus shows being more grounded, then let this Disney Plus show stay a Disney Plus thing. You see what I'm saying? Because nothing good has come from trying to get Disney Plus properties to the big screen. Nothing good has come from it. In my eyes, I don't know if y'all agree or not, but nothing good has come from Disney Plus transferring to the big screen.
Just WandaVision.
What about Loki?
How's that translated yet?
Yeah, Loki ain't went nowhere.
Well, the only thing we got out of Loki was He Who Remains.
And where's that at?
I mean, you got a
like
point.
I said, it hasn't gone anywhere. It ain't done any good.
Well, Loki is just still sitting on that chair until he got to get up off of it.
Well, the way time moves, he already got off of it, and he's still sitting at the same time.
Right. He can do both. But
well, you read about the WandaVision because that did go transfer into Multiverse of Madness.
And then Kevin Feige thought, "Oh my God, I gotta do a new TV show twice every single year." Well, they stopped mattering. They don't worry about Hawkeye, guys. It's okay.
Right. Hawkeye was my show too. TVA and Deadpool and Wolverine.
I guess you can also say Yelena as well, because she was in Hawkeye for a few episodes. And now
but that's what I'm saying. So, but Thunderbolts didn't do good. All I'm saying is nothing did coming from Disney Plus to the movies. Nothing has done good.
Same thing with Miss Marvel and going into the Marvels.
Yeah, nothing has done good from Disney Plus to the TVA. It's not a character within its own. It's just a plot device. Because that's all TVA is basically just a plot device. So yeah, I can TVA. Yeah, that's not bad to say, but
don't you know? I don't know, but don't you know Wonder Man is going to transfer it into something?
Man, if you don't, Wonder Man.
Wonder Man is going to transfer into something.
The plot to Wonder Man, I just know that's gonna fail.
You're not going to watch at least one episode?
No, I am, because I'm a glutton for punishment, man. So I'm gonna watch it.
You were going to watch it so I can talk thoroughly, and you're gonna watch it and be thoroughly surprised and like looking back, like, wow,
nah, because I already if it's true to what the plot is, no, I'm not gonna like it.
I didn't even. I
think it's dumb, and it has nothing to do with nothing. I just think it's one of those She-Hulk situations.
Oh,
it's kind of like that, like because it's him coming from the real world, going into the 616, right? But it's him as Yahya Abdul Mateen, and this is what I hear and what I've read from the plot. Yahya Abdul Mateen, the real actor, shows up to play a Marvel character, right? He doesn't get that job. He ends up getting sucked into the 616 by a Kevin Feige-like character, and then he ends up being Wonder Man and changing his name to Simon Williams.
Does he launch a black IP? Is that what happens here? Does he popularize a black character like Static Shock? Then
let me see.
It's a chance for them to appear like they're progressive without progress.
Let me see if I can find that.
Canceled the Photon TV show. No Blade. T'Challa's not been recast, even though tomorrow marks the 59th year of Black Panther debuting in Fantastic 452.
Read these plot details.
Use the hashtag recast T'Challa tomorrow morning. Schedule your tweets now so that we can all come with a blast.
That's what I'd like to know too. Well, since we're talking about post-credit scenes, What do you? And this, I'm asking real early with this one. What do you think the post credit scene for Fantastic Four is going to be?
That one's got to be related to Doctor Doom, if Doctor Doom's not in the movie, and it's got to be related to Doomsday.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be related to just the future, right? It's just, no matter what, whether it's Doom or it just whatever the future, whatever they want the MCU to be going forward, it's got to be related to that, no matter what.
It's got to be a crossover where some characters meet the other.
Wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something if in the Fantastic Four movie? Because since in that movie they're already making it aware that they're well known and that they're famous and whatnot, they got merchandise. Wouldn't it be something if they show a part of them going in a comic book shop and you see the issue with Black Panther on the cover of it, like just a glimpse of it?
Does the camera focus on it, or do you mean they walk past?
Yeah, like they probably walk past. Like you can see it. Like maybe a kid is going in the store to maybe buy a comic book and it's right there.
Nah, that's not significant enough for me to say, look. I'll say that they were on set at a comic book shop and the guy just forgot to take it down, because if it was Marvel's choice, they wouldn't feature T'Challa anywhere.
Oh yeah, I did miss a super chat. I'm sorry. Miss Roberta sent a super chat. She said Ryan Coogler is at fault. There are plenty of high-paying government jobs. I had an IT specialist position without finishing my degree. I'm sorry, Miss Roberta. I'm so sorry. But you are absolutely right. Like, she could. I got a decent job now with the government. I ain't got no degree, and it's a STEM job. So she could have easily gotten a government contract job or working for R&D somewhere.
And at least show me Riri saying no because she's too woke. She's got the Black Lives Matter. If she tells the government, I don't want to be a body, an arm of you, an arm on your body. If she says that, put that scene in there.
Yeah. So turning it down. I turned down this. I turned down that. I want to I want to blaze my own path.
Gang bang. Gang bang.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Gang bang. Gang bang.
But yeah, y'all, you absolutely right, Chill. Like, these things can be shown without the criminality aspect of making Riri into a criminal, right?
Yeah. And then dancing with the money all above her, celebrating.
It was just
no
nasty
regret.
the way she was so easily. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's go. What we doing? Okay, yeah, no, I could do that. What time I got to show up? Okay, yeah, I'll be there. Like, it was just too easy, just over that look. And I know it's showing Riri that Riri is chasing the money and what, you know. And I know what they're doing. The hood is a representation of, like, you know, being seduced by the devil. You know what I'm saying? Riri is money hungry, so it's easy to be seduced by the devil. You chasing the wrong thing, girl. Use your brain. You smart. Yada yada yada. I get all that. I know. I get all that. I think that still can be purveyed without making her a criminal. That's all. So y'all the 1%. Yeah, I mean, when most YouTubers are the 1%. So I, you know. We are. It's not this, because we know that. Well, and that's why I said most. Everybody ain't the 1% who do YouTube. I think, you know, I won't go there. But those who know, you know what I'm saying, you know. So everybody don't know. Most people just showing up. It's, you know what it is? It's the same people show up to watch a Tyler Perry movie. And I ain't saying that in a disrespectful manner, but they showing up is, you know, you're getting the ones who showing up, oh, it's black, I'm gonna show up because I want to support black. Then there's people showing up once I do show up and it's black. Oh, this story ain't that bad, because we're so used to seeing this type of story. It resonates. So it's fine.
Yeah. It's that Barack Obama voter.
That too.
You want to know what's so interesting though is did they like really hone in on Riri's race at all in these first 3 episodes?
No.
And also adding into that with the Slug character. We all know that they're part of the LGBT, but never once in any of the 3 episodes did they mention about them being in that
I
lifestyle.
like that. I like that they didn't make a
They didn't make a deal about it. It was like, okay,
And I
we
always
know,
said, if
we
you're
can
gonna
clearly
introduce a
see it.
character, just introduce them. They don't have to be promoted as marketing or anything like that. Just and let the audience decide whether they like that character.
That
That
is
way,
why.
go ahead, Tori.
That is why I did not like how they began marketing on Eternals by saying, "Look, the MCU is going to have its first gay kiss," and I'm like, "That's how you start off the Eternals marketing is with that because a lot of people don't know who the Eternals is, but that's how you start your marketing campaign."
That was the actor who said that. Marvel didn't market it that way. The actor said it.
Well,
I wouldn't even
that
let
wasn't
that
good.
happen.
Yeah, because they ran because Marvel ran with it. They just said, okay,
I'm not letting
let's
that get
run
out
with it.
at all. Now
I
you
was like,
can't
because I
do
knew
press,
nothing
dog.
about the Eternals, and I said that's the first thing we hear about is that. Not knocking it, but that wasn't something you should have led with.
And we are in Donald Trump's America, where if there are scenes that were shot when it was Joe Biden's America, featuring Riri Williams, the black community this, or drag queen that's been taken out of the show. It's Donald Trump's America. Donald Trump's America, Blue.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Donald Trump and Joe Biden ain't too far removed from each other. I hate to say it. I look at them and one is the same.
I mean to say that.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't think that they pulled it because Donald Trump. I don't think that they do that. Not for this, because remember this was shot back then. I don't think they pulled it for that. I don't. Because matter of fact, I don't think. Okay. They just did it right, and I think they did it right on accident. Like what this was, you know what I'm saying? Like this was. We ain't heard they haven't honed in on Riri being being a independent young black female. No, they just showing you she's an independent black female, that's what you're supposed to do.
I'm telling you, there were definitely scenes that say, "I'm a young black female," and she would say, and it would be so cringy, the dialogue would be whack, and they thought, "Oh, you know what? There is a cultural shift in our country. Let's not do that anymore," and they pulled that scene.
I don't know, maybe. I don't think so. I think, like I said, I don't give them credit like that. You do, Chi. I don't give them credit. I just think they made a mistake. Accidents happen, and they benefiting off of their accident.
Are there 2 super chats saying the same thing? It looks like it.
Yeah. I don't know if you meant to send it twice, Lawrence. I was about to get your super chat. I don't know if you meant to send it twice, but it says a better show would be Armor Wars, Riri and Rhodey hunting down. I think, and I'm glad you said that, because I think he said he did it on purpose. I think that makes sense. I think we got introduced to Riri in Wakanda Forever. I don't think we need her origin story. I don't think we need it. I think
this is back in the day. Go ahead.
I know, but I still. And, hindsight is 50-50, but after watching the show, I don't necessarily think we need her origin story. I think we can get the origin story through Armor Wars. Through something like that. Give me a full season. Don't give me 6 episodes. Give me a full season so you can actually develop these characters and we can get her background story through the things that she does in Armor Wars. Like you say, hunting down stolen armor. Working for Pepper Pot, why she ain't working for Stark Industries? Why they don't exist no more? Pepper ain't down no more. Happy we saw Happy with Deadpool. We saw that, right?
Yeah, for a movie, sure, we'll pay Jon Favreau, but we're not paying Gwyneth Paltrow for a 10-minute scene.
I don't need to. All I need to is just infer that Pepper got me the job. I don't need Gwyneth to show up at all. I just need to write in the script, Pepper got me this job. I met Pepper Potts when I worked for Stark Industries. What's up, Rhodey? Let's go get this. Let's go handle the business.
I guess all our questions will be answered tomorrow.
If Rhodey the Scroll shows up tomorrow in the post-credit scene, man, how many episodes of Secret Invasion? If y'all remember, do y'all remember?
Wasn't like 8,
8,
and those were a long
a
dragging
long
8
dragon 8.
episodes.
They should have gave me the 8 episodes of Armor Wars that they never made. Give me that instead of Secret Invasion.
I was actually looking forward to Armor Wars.
Yep, me too. Now we're sitting right next to Blade.
Right, and across the street from Batgirl.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add, man? I'm about to wrap it up.
No.
No,
We're trending recast T'Challa tomorrow, the 59th year since the Black Panther debuted in a comic book. Speak on his importance and why the T'Child is not T'Challa. Make it trend.
Make it trend. Make it trend. Recast T'Challa tomorrow. What you
don't
say?
Even have to wait till tomorrow. You can schedule a tweet right now. Let's go.
You can start it now and just go into tomorrow.
Hey, listen, guess what? You know why? Because it's July 1st somewhere in the world.
It's July 1st somewhere. You're absolutely right. Oh damn, I was about to say something. You messed me up, Chill. Shucks. But no. Torrin, you got anything you want to add?
Not. Also, me and Tina, on Wednesday we supposed to be doing a collab, doing a series review for Ironheart. On Wednesday. It's not going to be a live. It's gonna be a pre-record, and then I'm gonna upload it on Saturday.
Well, let me know if you need another, man. I've been trying to get with Tina for a minute, but we just keep missing each other.
It's gonna be in the afternoon because I know, like, Tina tells me that she works at night, so it's gonna be like in the afternoon when we do it.
Yep. Okay, that's what's up, man. Tomorrow I got blues news coming out. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but it'll be some blues news. Chill. What you got coming?
3 times tomorrow morning, afternoon, and then the big panel at night. I'll be active. It's a big day for me. It's a big heavy day. A lot of work to be done here on Chillmonger.
Hopefully I'll be stepping into that.
You made sure that tomorrow was a hole in the schedule.
Yes.
I'll be jumping into that after I got a basketball game tomorrow. So after my basketball game, I most definitely will jump into that. But yeah, man, that's it. I appreciate everybody who showed up. Appreciate the super chats. As always, I appreciate the homie Torian jumping in. My Canadian brother. I know Chill probably think that I'll be bagging on, but I actually enjoy Chill's company on here. I appreciate you jumping in. Appreciate Dre and whatever tunnel he was in that just.
I was going to say he is lost somewhere out there right now. He'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna pull him out of from whatever dimension he might be in right now. He'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know whatever dimension it is. We're gonna get America Chavez to go get him and bring him.
Right.
What about Mika? Where was she?
Mika was actually doing a show. She interviewed a person. I can't remember who the person is. Shame on me. I'm sorry, Mika. But it was for a campaign. They're raising money to get this film made. So if y'all can go over to Cinematic Nightmares, I'm pretty sure she has it in the description and everything like that. If you want to donate to this film that she's trying to help get made. So that's where Mika was. She had work to do, man, and I'm not gonna step on her doing work. I'm all in support. I like what Mika's doing. So salute to Mika. Salute to Dre for getting his money. Salute to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Fatal J. Since we had that discussion early. Salute to everybody who just out here just trying to make something happen in this YouTube space, man. Especially if you black and trying to make something happen in this nerd YouTube space, because it ain't the easiest unless you shucking and jiving and eating butter biscuits
with the honey sauce,
with the hot honey sauce.
Now you're gonna have that song stuck in my head.
So yeah, that's that.
Great. What a great way to end that one. Salute to Fatal J. Absolutely.
But yeah, we out, man. You know what it is. I am Blue Minotti from Blues House. This has been another episode of Blurred AF. That is Chill. That is Torian. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. take it easy, be safe, and in the great words of the homie Dre, vibe higher, y'all. Peace.